All right. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to some more Super Metroid Link to the Past combo at SpeedGaming Live. We have azder versus Osse in the quarterfinals. Unfortunately, usually you would expect this to be a finals matchup, and them being the 1 and 2 seeds out of quals. Osse having taken a loss to Zempt during groups, ended up with the lower seed. So here we are with the quarterfinals. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Apathy Duck. How are you doing, Duck?
I'm alright. How are you?
Good. I mean, this is one of my favorite matchups in this game, so it should be a good one. Pound for pound, probably the top two players in this in SMZ3. Both really good at both Link to the Past and Super Metroid azder, having recently won the tournament, the main tournament for Super Metroid Randomizer. Osse having won the last SpeedGaming Live SMZ3, actually the last two, and also the 2020 SpeedGaming Live Super Metroid. So really good matchup here. And here we go.
Yeah, it's pretty conventional wisdom that these guys are 1 and 2, and then sort of a dogfight for that third spot. But it should be a good one. It's gonna. I mean, this match just comes down to exactly where these guys go. So should be fun. We'll see how the seed plays out. Both heading to Link to the Past first.
Yeah, you don't really see. I mean, there's two items in logic because it is hard mode, but you don't really see a lot of people do the early Brinstar checks. And there's a heart container we are never picking up.
Yeah, honestly, with how close these guys were, our opportunity to. It's not like that big of a time loss. Like it's certainly more efficient to do it later, but someone could have gotten a small advantage right off of that. So.
Okay, we did see a pendant over at Desert, and then a crystal at Eastern, a Super Metroid boss over at Hera, with the new mode where Super Metroid boss rewards can be in Link to the Past, and crystals and pendants can be in SM. And let's please get I'm gonna say again, get those pendants out of my game.
Yeah, I was thinking about it earlier. Honestly, it's just Dragon and Ridley. I think if you just restricted those two, it'd be fine.
It would be better. On the other hand, I had a seed where I had, I think it was Kraid and Fantoon had pendants, and my go mode just got twice as long because suddenly I had to do 2 more full dungeons in Link to the Past. Didn't feel good.
Yeah, there is that, the other side of it, that you just need so much.
Alright, so a little bit of divergence. It looks like azder's going to start at the north, to try and get to Kakariko. Osse going to go south, probably going to try and farm these 50-50 bomb bushes. There's the map check from azder. How come he gets 2 bombs? I never get 2 bombs there.
I don't get 1 before 5 farms. Like,
I know, right? It's like, is it really?
They're like 3 times I've done it. That's why I never go this way. It's just awful.
I only go this way in entrance rando.
Yeah, I don't like. I just like, depending on what I have, I'll blind check this. But if only having 2 bombs, I guess he's got the money to buy more, so I guess that's fine. But
yeah, and he's gonna come from the south, so he can just buy the bombs right away. azder has plenty of money for bombs as well. Does find a mirror in the Lost Woods. That super missile is the perfect example of the kind of thing you want to, that if you blind check the race game, you're picking up, and if you don't blind check it, you're probably leaving.
Honestly, if coming south like this, I would go for that super missile because you just don't know if there's another one.
Yeah, it's good.
There's only one guaranteed to be in Sphere 0.
And we're gonna enter Kakariko from opposite ends. Both gonna buy bombs first. Actually, azder's gonna hit the bottle vendor first and get bombs. Okay, that's. I mean, they're expensive bombs, and Osse gets bombs from the back of the tavern. Well, that's pretty free. They're also gonna, we'll see what's in these areas here. But that might put him at that awkward number of just 3 bombs for doing things. Oh, nice early Moon Pearl. Where it's not really enough for Mini Moldorm,
Ah, both spheres.
Yeah, we got our orbs. Moon Pearl and Morph Ball within 4 minutes.
Yeah, I tend to like being aggressive here, or as soon as I find Morph. They don't have power bombs yet, so I think that's what they're looking for. But
Yeah, really, like at Morph Ball without any kind of bombs, I think just BT you can get to. I think that's it.
yeah, I mean, without power bombs, there's no reason to go. But as soon as I have supers and power bombs, I will go to SM before doing any else of the Link to the Past if I have all three of those in Kakariko. But yeah, I think we're still on the hunt for power bombs.
And there also has to be a Sphere 1 power bomb pack, so we'll it's early E-Tank, Heart Container. Okay. So far, just the 2 biggies and the Mire. Well, the Mire and Lost Woods that Osse has to go up and get. Osse with his Morph Ball.
With that power bomb, we do have access to hair already too. Can't get very far in it, but we do have access to it.
Okay, so see, there's those 3 bombs for azder. Now he doesn't, so he could just leave with these 3 bombs, but you can't do mini mold. Well, no, you can't do mini Moldorm Cave with 3 bombs. You got to use 1 bomb to open it, and then 3 more to finish it. So he's just gonna buy more. But we have a bomb capacity upgrade, so it actually gives him the full 10. So it's not so bad.
Yeah, he's also swimming in cash, so
yeah, this money's just not an issue right now. See if he blind checks the race game. I know he kind of goes back and forth on this depending on which game he's playing. Not sure what his latest conclusion is on SMZ3, whether to do it blind or not. He's going to see these supers and he's probably not going to get them.
Yeah, he does have one already.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, thought about it, I think. Yeah, it just depends on how much stuff I've got in Kakariko, and like if I have a weapon, if I have a sword or a hammer or something already, where I don't need those bombs for like mini mold, then I'll just, if I'm in a situation where I don't really need to conserve my bombs.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing.
Hammer mini Moldorm sucks though. let's
yeah, but I mean, bomb mini Moldorm.
It is. I mean, you're not going to run out of bombs and then not be able to finish it. Like hammer is definitely a viable weapon. It just, I absolutely despise using hammer on them. Just never works. But I think we're gonna get some divergence. Osse looks like maybe heading over to Eastern Palace. As you're doing a more traditional into South Shore, I'll probably hit Mini Moldorm Cave and Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, with that morph already, I think I'd want to delay this. I don't know. I always want to do this while going to Eastern. I know it's still 3 items that you can just sort of freely check. And bombs in the bush crab, jeez.
And we find out Skullwoods is our green pendant. I think talking to the old man there is a little bit more valuable now that we have the extra mix of items, because you don't want to have to menu in SM if you can avoid it. It's quite the slow menu to check and see whether you get a crystal or a pendant. Really, you just want to know whether you need to do the boss there or not. Oh my god, this mini Moldorm just doesn't want to play nice. Oh my god. Okay, this one should do it. There's our power bomb.
Yeah.
Be nice to have 1 more pack. 5 is tricky to get through all of Pink Brinstar without running out.
That's why you go to Kraid. I don't know why people don't open Kraid. Like 5, you can guaranteed clear everything. Well, not guaranteed. I mean, if you just start laying them willy-nilly, then...
So yeah, you're trying to like go down Red Tower and go that way. Yeah, I think that's what you did, and you're out.
I do it every time. Like I do not understand why it's not meta, but I'll take my advantage, I suppose. But yeah, I think
I mean, why not?
I mean, especially with 5. Like I think there's like I'll do this even if I have 15. Like. Especially because you can get the scouts now too. I think that's way more important, and you can just like spike a speed or something over here. And like, what else are you gonna do? Like, you kind of have to do this route at some point, and it's a boss. So Granted, now it might not be a crystal or required, but I think most people have just sort of are blind killing Crate just because it's so fast, and it's
Yeah,
still...
you don't see a lot of crate skipping in this mode.
Yeah, by the time you
The ones
menu
you
and
wanna
everything, you're like halfway there.
Yeah, exactly. Wreck ship kind of the same thing. By the time you get into the wreck ship, you're probably just killing Fantoon regardless.
Yeah, well, that's why I think the Dark World Scout is very valuable now,
Yeah.
because you can just process you kind of have to process illumination in Fantoon.
We're gonna get to see Ice Rod Cave from Osse. And a little bit of fake flip ring. No, we're not gonna see Ice Rod Cave from Osse. We're gonna just see fake flip ring.
Very nice farm from azder there.
A little surprised he does this with this money when we've seen lots of places where he can get money in tree pulls and such. He's just gonna go ahead and do the waterfall, I guess. Maybe he'll scout the ledge item.
Or just hula handing. It's slow with the glove list set up, but I have never once talked to this fairy.
I always forget.
I don't. What do you need green? I mean, I guess sometimes the green potion's pretty nice, but I suppose early, especially without a weapon or something, if you have like a Burna or Somaria blind that you need to do. But basically, once you kill one boss, you're pretty much fine.
Piece of heart on the ledge. Don't think we have anything we could do splash delete with anyway, so that item would have just sat there anyway, but it's a piece of heart, so we're not going to bother with it.
Oh, and of course Osse lucks out and got money in.
Yeah. So he can do this. And okay, well that's all his money. All gone. There's a good chance at some point azder hits that area too, so it's probably not a huge time loss, but definitely not what you want to have happen early.
That is the latest sanctuary check I think I've ever seen.
See if Osse goes and follows azder's footsteps, or if he does blue burn first, or green pink blue. Azder down to 25 health. Got to be a little bit careful here. Says no to the reserve tank. I think if it had been an E-tank, he picks that up.
I'm shocked he didn't. It's hard mode. Like, why would you not pick up just your first reserve? If you
I know, right?
Yeah, that's. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I mean, he
weird.
Hell runs in logic at 5. It's one more than what the SM rando logic that we typically use has, and he's capable of doing it on 3 if he had to. So he'll keep that in mind for logic purposes. But yeah, might have been good to have.
With high jump and morph is what you would have in RBO. So
yep,
that's 3's definitely doable. But well, never mind.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's a very
punished for that.
Well, he's got to go get that first. We don't know when he's going to get there. He's going to get it, but
he's not. My point is, he's not doing LN without varia.
No, of course not. no variables LN, but he might do like ice beam. Got the 2 tanks, 3 total in logic.
Oh yeah, that's another reason. I don't know. I don't. That just feels. It's like, are you gonna lose the seed by that time? Where probably I feel like you might actually lose the seed from not having an extra E-tank.
Okay, nothing in the back of Gauntlet. Yeah, went a little bit further out of his way to get those 5 blue rupees, and one might expect. Sometimes it's just muscle memory, though.
Yeah, there's a bunch of checks I just do, just because it's honestly slower to not pick them up. Etikun's PBs is like that, just because you need to run into it and then set up the mock ball. Like, I just picked that up, so.
And a shovel. Everybody's favorite fetch quest.
Okay, if he skips the shovel, then I don't.
He's not skipping the shovel. We all want to skip the shovel, but no one's going to skip the shovel. Fighter Sword is nice because now he can actually do Hera if he wants to go back into Link to the Past.
If it's not Firelock, you can.
Right, no hook shot to get around that. We'll check the Croc item. I expect we'll get a save scum for the Ice Beam and Crumble Tower items. Or he'll just go to Link to the Past and go see if he can do Hera. Sword's really nice because it makes rescuing the old man in the dark free. No, there's no Bryn Skiff happening today. There's a hook shot. I mean, technically, a hook shot not necessarily required since if Swamp is a pendant, we don't actually have to do GT, but
It's just absolutely not punished for doing Brinstar on 5 power bombs. It's just
we're still on 5 power bombs. The tricky part isn't this area. The tricky part is knowing how to use all your power bombs in Pink Brinstar.
He's got Screw now. Like, that saves you a bunch.
In Pink?
Well, not in Pink, but
he's not going to Blue. Like with 5 power, even with Screw Attack, you're not doing Blue Brinstar. Again, Ice Beam. Right, you do, yeah. So he will save 1 power bomb because he won't have to power bomb the blocks in the Decora room.
yeah, I think he just needs a miracle drop, honestly, and he can do Blue.
Outer. Oh, we probably need to pick that up.
No,
and
well,
it doesn't matter. He's got
never,
power bombs now.
Never
so.
punished.
I don't think he's actually going to do Blue, though. But I think he'll probably just route this into Kraid.
Yeah, I've never liked that, because then Blue's just, like, isolated by itself. I guess you can, if you're trying to put it off till speed or something, but there's still, you know, a good bit of items over there.
Oh, there's a lot of items over there, and, you know, it can be a little worrisome if you think your opponent is the type to do it early. But I also think that if you do it right now, now you're completely isolating Waterway, which can be a problem as well. And there's another power bomb, so if he wants to do Blue Brinstar, he can do it just fine.
Yeah, like, if you're gonna do this routing with, you want to do Pink and then not Blue, honestly, what I would do is I would do up to wreck ship and then back through Blue and then down.
Okay, so we got small key, big key.
Oh, so you have to open it first. I'm here to help. And azder also not punished for not getting the hook shot before coming here.
I mean, Osse will be able to do it faster with Harapot if he wants to.
Yeah, sure. It's
not as big a deal when you're checking all the items, though. Azder knows how to do this bomb jump, so he's not going to lose time here. And gets a book, everybody's favorite item.
Yeah, especially with...
and by favorite, I mean not.
Especially with Pendant Desert Palette. It does get the ether check right here, though, so it's pretty convenient.
I mean, if you're going to get a book, get it early.
Yeah, the late book's really annoying. All right, we'll see what... I didn't see if Osse powerbombed, which would tell us where he's going. Yeah, he's going back up. There's no... Can't believe you can get up there without a ledge. Weird.
Yeah, amazing how that works. Those who don't know, the area randomizer sticks a ledge in there for some unknown reason. We'll faceplant some Link to the Past bombs. So not quite be an NMG fight for azder because he doesn't have boots.
Yeah, this is like literally the hardest fight possible.
Mm-hmm. Does it just fine though. I want to say we left an item here. Did we get both map and compass?
I do not know. Both keys were downstairs. I know that.
Yep. D-Web in chat saying that there's a fire-locked item, and I think that's correct. Let's see what's over here. A heart from the future. That's an energy tank. We're never getting that. It's kind of nice when you can check with the book and not actually get the item, because it's actually a little bit faster to read it than it is to pick up the item and it'd be trash. Obviously, if it's something good and you have to come back for it, then that's not so great.
Did he not check this already?
He saw it, but he didn't pick it up. It's powder. He's gonna save and quit from this spot, and it's a little bit more efficient than having to bomb jump across or something like that. And let's see if he.
It's a lot of extra walking. Well, I guess he didn't know about book at the time, but.
Okay, where are we? Oh, we're gonna go back into Norfair. See, this is what I was worried about with those E-tanks. He might just do hell runs right now with that high jump, rather than go back to blue and pink Bryn, green Bryn.
Yeah, unfortunately, he hasn't picked up another power bomb yet.
Oh, he's gonna do. Okay, no, this makes sense because he's gonna do this, and now when he resets, if it's nothing, he'll just go back to the ship. I like this play.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Oh, did he not check Dark World?
I don't think he did.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake, honestly, because you can't. Like I said, you wanna know if that Fantoon is a pendant or not. I've actually changed my route. Like I would always go up because you're already halfway up the mountain if you come from SM. I get the old man now first, so I can do that scout. Just because I think it's that valuable.
Okay, that's gonna be a reset to the ship. Meanwhile, Osse's gonna do the early X-ray play. Doesn't really have any safeties to go with this, so if he fails it, he's gonna be in trouble. But he doesn't. Does a very nice job of it. A little safer with varia suit, of course.
A lot safer with varia suit.
Yeah. There's a half magic that he wants. Yeah, you want that. I mean, it's not by any means required, but this is a really tough jump. Just use. Okay, he gets it.
You get like 8 power bombs on the way out.
You have 3 power bombs, and you got things that just 100%, 99.9% drop power bombs. Just do it.
Yeah, Azder's going to be getting his varia here. I wouldn't. I honestly, if I was Azder and I found this varia suit, I think I would bail on Brinstar here and just go to Norfair.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't, because that hookshot.
Yeah, well, if the hookshots, if there's nothing over in Death Mountain, that hookshot's not really gonna be paying off right now. I mean, he'll do it at some point, obviously, but. Oh, and he's gonna get it dead last. All right.
This could be. I mean, yeah, he could be planning on going all the way through Bryn. Blue Bryn, which he can do. He doesn't know it. Not the way I like to plan my route out, because with 5 power bombs, I don't expect to be able to do Blue Bryn, but he's going to be able to.
Yeah. Do we even have hell runs in Logic? As far as Azure knows.
He's got 4. Yeah, his knowledge is 4 tanks, so they're not quite there yet. Like the ice beam was.
You can honestly, like, with a sword would also be 5. That might be enough for me to greenlight it, but.
5. Yeah, 5 tanks is the logic for going over to.
Yeah, if I just go like, well, there's a sword somewhere, like, that's 5, or just even another E-tank somewhere.
Yeah, and yes, reserve tanks do count. So he's got that. He knows that reserve. So that's in logic. So he knows a 4. Fun fact: in one of his group races, both he and his opponent were basically skipped 230 missiles until the very end. So hopefully he's got that on his mind and isn't going to skip that today.
I'll say the one with varia gets the reserve tank.
Funny how that works. Yeah, it looks like not too happy about missing that quick dropping out, but I mean,
Come on.
as long as you have one power bomb going down here, you're gonna come back out with 5. So
Yeah, I mean, as long as he had missiles, he could have gotten. But that's just.
yeah.
You saw it. I mean, azder even had a chuckle himself. But that was.
Nice quick kill from Osse. azder gets his hook shot. Of course, that screw attack. I mean, these runners could do lower Norfair right now. I don't know that you would. I'd want a little more ammo or a nice beam.
Yeah, azder can't.
Not yet. I mean, it is in logic with where Barry suit is. Yes.
Well, yeah,
Osse could do it.
Everything but Ridley is in logic.
Right, because we don't quite. I mean,
Well, logic is only super missiles, so whether or not you can actually do it, it's still not in logic.
Say, well, you don't need charge beam for it anymore. Just need the ammo.
But it just counts. The logic just counts.
I see what you're saying.
Or
so you have.
Or anything.
Okay, did not realize that. Yeah, Osse should have enough if he wants to, but that'd be an awful fight because you'd have to use a lot of power bombs.
Yeah, it'd be kind of.
You'd have to
the
make
other
up
thing is
for 15 missiles.
The other thing is you might want to. Well, you don't know Mire yet, but you don't want to do the double lava dive. So a lot of times you try to put that off before you can do Mire, or at least have like a 2 out of 3 chance of doing Mire.
Yeah. We have no medallions. We do have a way across. We do have a mirror to get into desert and checkerboard cave.
Yeah, having flute is something else that also greenlight it for me because you can just, as long as mitts specifically aren't there, which is going to be fairly unlikely, you're pretty much guaranteed to be able to flute back there. But the reverse is not true because like this isn't regular length of the pass where flute is required for Mire.
Yep.
So you're not guaranteed to ever see that flute.
Yeah, I mean that flute can just simply be in GT and just never have any use.
Yeah, there is a chance we can see GT in these, but would be pretty rare.
I'm not sure what else other than a sword we'd get. Sword or ammo?
You're just ammo. Like if you're just completely, if you have a jet seed and you just do not have enough ammo. I had a practice seed that GT was starting to look pretty tempting on.
Yeah, you want that, Osse. I always love it in SM when a runner gets prepared to leave because they don't expect the item to be something they want. And then they turn around.
Any given location is more likely to be trash than actually viable, so you just always prepare to leave. I never bought off that scout. Like, I just missed the shot too much, then I'm just like, well, I'll just get it. Like, it's not that slow.
Yeah, I tend to go for it with wave beam, obviously, because that's free.
Even that, like, you have to, like, jump, and I don't know. Like, I just...
As you're definitely skipping the bombs on his path. And Osse probably going to go ahead and do all the Death Mountain stuff. It'll kill Moldorm, find out the bad news is there's a fire-locked item.
Yeah, if I was in Osse's shoes, I think I would actually do East Death Mountain first, and then just save and quit and come back to do Hera. Yeah,
I like that. Azure did not have the hook shot to be able to do East Death Mountain when he was over here before.
Actually, I take that back. And I would have gone up first and then come down and done Old Man, then go around. But now he's committed to going down first. You might get the hammer over there, and then you can just truck right over.
Let's see what he chooses to do. And neither runner checked the front of Gauntlet. They've both seen the back.
Oh, they couldn't. we had 5 power bombs.
That's
and
true.
no
They could have
spirit
seen.
attack.
Yeah, good point. They could have seen the front.
Yeah, you know, you're not down.
No, I would say no one does that. But back in the 2017 Super Metroid Randomizer tournament, Wild Anaconda was very famous for always scouting the item at Gauntlet.
Yeah, I mean that's a completely different. I've scouted that in that, but especially in like Chozo. Yeah, there's a
That's a
bow.
bow.
That'll probably green light Eastern soon. It does have the Mire already. Might try to put it off a little bit till we find that. I mean, hammer is. Oh wait, we don't even have a glove.
Yeah, no glove yet.
I was about to say hammer is just going to give you Dark World and pod, so you could do the pod Eastern Dream, but little routing things like that, like minor routing, I feel are way less valuable on SMZ3 than a Link to just because this game's so much bigger and stuff. It's probably not coming down to the very minutia like that.
Yep.
Whereas, like, if it's just something's in Eastern, you know, that's going to be huge. So.
Okay, so Azure gets his Varia suit. I would expect him to either hit Upper Norfair or East Death Mountain, or I mean, really, they're right in the same area, so you could do one and then the other, whichever way he wants to do it. I would do East Death Mountain first because no speed booster to get over to Bubble Mountain quickly. Whereas if I had speed booster, I might do Bubble Mountain first and then East Death Mountain.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be looking at. I'd want to be doing wreck ship here because I'd want to put off Upper Norfair a little bit till I can maybe get some of that other stuff to do either Mire or, just make my Ridley fight a little faster.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
I don't even know if
we don't have. Well, we don't have a item to not have to CWJ yet, so we'll see if I know Azure doesn't particularly like to do the CWJ unless he has at least bombs to supplement. Doesn't mean he won't do it if it seems like the reasonable play. I don't know what Osse's feelings on that are.
I can't imagine Osse caring. I don't think Osse. He doesn't run 80% all that often. I don't think he's
in the tournament right now, so he should be pretty practice on the CWJ. But of course,
well, I mean,
in new route you have your bombs as your backup. So.
Well, I mean, a lot of people main the bombs. I main bombs. It's just way more consistent. Well, once you get it consistent, it's way more.
Yeah. No, I've heard almost everybody I talk to says, once you know how to do the horizontal bomb jump, it's better. But until you do, it's doing CWJ is better. Like you can get CWJ by accident.
Yeah. Well, CWJ is not hard. It's just push the button on the frame. Like it's not like, mechanically difficult.
Yeah.
Finally. Good lord, guys. Okay, we do have a pendant. No, we don't have a pendant in SM because there's 2 there and we have desert.
Yeah. We have Skullwoods and Ice Palace are our pendants. Green at Skullwoods. Interesting. That Skullwoods pendant is kind of interesting. We did have in the race last night between Maniacal and Ivan, there was a very freely available hookshot sitting in Pendant Skullwoods that Maniacal didn't quite last location. Actually, between the 2 of them was
freely
almost
available.
What I mean by free is it wasn't in the back. It was one of the easy chests. But yeah, it was definitely available. And neither Maniacal still had all of Meridia to do, so it wasn't what last location or anything like that. But poor Ivan did a full Suitless Meridia before. I don't think he ever did find that hookshot actually.
Some say he's still looking for it.
Yeah, maybe. It was also pretty nasty in that the gravity suit was sitting in Thieves Town Big Chest, and of course they didn't have a hammer the first time through, so we didn't find out until Maniacal checked after the race.
I still need to look at that video you sent me. I woke up.
The hair pot?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. Let me put it this way: I did not do hair pot the old way unless I absolutely had to. When I absolutely had to, it's either a key sandy mode where I don't have a big key, or I'm in go mode. Like I'll take the time to do the hair pot. But the this version I just do.
Yeah, I don't think that's any faster. I mean, you're still just at the mercy of the bomb explosion. So it's just
Well,
how fast you can set it up.
it's I don't think it is faster, but it's much more consistent.
Yeah,
You only have to find one. You only have to find one pixel to set up. Oh, Osse, please.
that
And
was
then
not on Osse. That was on Moldorm.
I mean, you could just wait another second, and he's not in that position. But
No one waits.
but yeah, the old version was okay. You had to get the first pixel was easy, and then you had a timer on the second pixel, and if you moved to it wrong, it didn't work anyway, and it was just not fun. And I never learned to do the spin speed properly, and even the people I see do the spin speed, it looks like they're just kind of guessing and checking anyway. So
There is a setup for okay, that one was on Osse.
okay, round 3.
There we go.
And Osse gets the bad news that the second item is in the basement. And he'll go check this and find out he's never coming back here.
Does he have 3 yet? There's a 0.00001% chance he picks this up at the end. Oh wait, no, we don't even have to do GT, so
Yeah, he's never coming back up there. I mean, he'll have. I mean,
I think
it's
he's got
SMZ3. Like I can think of one race where a runner actually ended on 3 tanks, and it's that one you and I called between Azder and Andy, where Azder nearly had Go Mode Morph Ball on the pyramid ledge.
Oh yeah.
He ended on 3 tanks for that one. You know, there's so much you're picking up in chests and stuff. You're not gonna. It just doesn't happen. Okay, it looks like Osse. Yeah, I haven't seen that bomb jump. I mean, I've seen a bomb jump there. I have not seen that setup for it. So we're going to see Bubble Mountain again, I think. Yeah, he's already got 3 tanks. He's never going back for that one.
And he's got 4, so.
Yeah. You know, it's funny in SMZ3 where, you know, early on, you'll be like, okay, you know, you want like a couple E-tanks early. It's, you know, you don't really want to do even like Pink Brinstar without at least 1 E-tank. And then, you know, so maybe you go a little more out of your way, and by the end, you've got like 12 E-tanks, and you're just like, why? I don't need that much. Yeah, we got bombs over there. So we're going to do the reserve tank area first. And we get a speed booster. That's really nice.
Yeah, this is why I like putting off Brinstar. Because you can just snag that, then you don't isolate those 2 checks.
Yeah, the nice route here would have been to get your varia suit and leave to go down to Norfair. You don't see that route very often.
I mean, I was pushing for it. You remember? I was like, just...
You were. So yeah, the two locations in Burnstar and Criteria that are speed required, orphaned for now. Turning off Ice Beam, I fully support this in this scenario. And a Fire Rod. That'll make Eastern easier to do if they want to do it sooner rather than later. Need Lamp to put it fully in logic, but these guys can do dark rooms, and Fire Rod makes it free.
Does put that hair item in logic.
It does.
Also puts desert in, well, almost in logic. Depends if it's boots locked or not.
Yep.
Yeah, with this mirror, especially since we're starting to run a little dry, I definitely just think doing LN right now makes sense. Plus, you got the speed booster. Definitely helps as well. You can do a pretty. Once you have speed and high jump, you can just use your normal strats.
Yep.
Especially with screw attack, it's pretty. This is gonna be a very easy LN, and he's got tons of ammo. And
screw attack, so nice in lower Norfair. And my favorite strat in the game is the high jump lava dive. I'm a big fan of that. Love it when that's required.
You don't even need high jump.
I do. I'm very, very good at the high jump version, but I have not ever managed to do. To be fair, I haven't really tried to, but I've also seen. I mean, it's different in SMZ3, but I've seen too many people lose to doing that in SM Rando. Prioritize it.
Yeah, it's not too bad once you get the hang of it. It's honestly nailing that turnaround time and just being pretty quick with your wall jumps. And like the other huge thing in Rant is just like how slowly your health ticks in with Varia in this.
Oh yeah.
Like Osse's messed this up and he just like does not care.
Yeah.
Massive amount of health here. It's like the equivalent of doing this on like 7 E-tanks in normal.
Mm-hmm.
And he had Crystal Flash on board. It's a little annoying with the ammo. I definitely think killing GT is worth it here. If you do like with high jump, if you do like the jump farming strat that you see in like RBO, you can actually get a good amount of supers back pretty quickly. Yeah, and
this is, and you know, these rippers are 99.9 essentially super missiles.
Yeah, the old 1 and 255.
Grapple beam. Looks like he's gonna do the Mire area checks before he does any GT. And the grapple's nice too. That'll help him farm on the GT fight.
Yeah, that's actually really convenient there. Okay, so it is Bombos. We are not. I guess he's just gonna do checkerboard last. So maybe he forgot he has the mirror, but he literally is holding it right now. So
well, he might have forgotten for a second.
You definitely do desert here.
Oh, high gravity suit. That's nice.
That would make me consider skipping desert. You know, especially in the Osse versus azder match. Oh, hey, speaking of lower Norfair.
Oh, we have a Ridley kill.
Yeah, that was a really quick fight.
Well done.
One would assume.
Yeah, so we don't know if azder's checked this stuff in desert or not. It's the...
He doesn't have gravity suit.
No, he does have gravity suit, so he has not. No, he didn't. He hasn't got. He didn't go to GT.
Why wouldn't he go to GT? that's what I'm particularly shocked about. Like doing this and not coming over to the Mire, especially if the mirror feels. I know there's the ammo concerns. You got to farm, but that's unless he gets veiled out by Mitts and Flute just being ultra convenient somewhere.
He's still gonna have to come down and do this. Yeah.
Yeah, but like if those are just hanging out somewhere, right? Like they'll just come and do it. That's not a big deal.
He still has. I mean, he's gonna run out of stuff. He might end up in wreck ship before going back down. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean there's
also Crocomire. I mean, we gotta assume he's got the speed booster. Yeah, he had the speed ball, so of course he has the speed booster. He's begun to really like doing this little X-ray clip out of there.
I'm not sure. Is that faster than just doing it with the power bomb?
If he's doing it, I'm gonna guess it is, but I certainly have never timed it.
The only other thing I can think of is it's fast enough, and like it's one of those things that if you mess up in like a SMR, like you're stuck. I could see just be like, I'm gonna lose the half a second and just get a lot of practice on it, type of thing. Like,
yeah, because I think it was maybe even in this SMR finals. I want to say he went down to Lower Norfair to that area with 5 power bombs. And you need 6 if you don't have some other item to help you out. And his other item to help him out was X-ray. So, and flippers. Oh, so lots of stuff here.
So we have a Gina hanging still too. Completely forgot about that.
So the interesting question here is he going to go back to... Like, from here, I'm not sure it's even faster to go back, like, do a reverse acid dive, rather than just go back down.
Oh,
so
no,
does he go back down, or does he go up to wreck ship? Because I think those are his options right now.
If he skipped, there's no way he's going back. Like, the only way he would go back is if he was trying to get, like, a medallion and, like, Kane to maybe be able to do Mire. But, yeah, there's zero reason to go back at this point. I will say the one saving grace for azder is Osse is definitely going to be doing 2 lava dives. Well, yes. No, I guess no.
Well, we don't know. It depends on where food and
Well, no, that's what I was supposed to say. It's possible that they both only do 2, right?
Right.
If azder can put off going to GT, before he gets Bombos and Kane. So that's azder's 2 outs. He gets Bombos and Kane and then decides to re-lava dive then. Oh god! Oh no! Well, there's the other out gone.
Yeah, the flute's gone.
If flute was just convenient.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see Croc right now.
Yeah. So azder needs to spike Kane, and the problem is he's not gonna like. His really big problem is we just saw like this is terrible for azder. We saw one of the medallions there. Obviously, it's not the Mire medallion, but he doesn't know it, so he's not going to have... Like, there's no chance for him to have 3 medallions, just, like, no 100% Mires and Logic. Now, he could have the 2 out of 3, but that is the 2 worst items you could put
absolutely.
At GT.
Free blue mail.
I'm surprised Osse isn't just... dumping those missiles. He doesn't need them. He only needs 30, which is what you need to get down to for the farm. And he's got screw attack, so it's not like you need ammo to get through worst room of the game or anything. So
the big problem would be, I mean, wreck ship could still have stuff for azder. The big problem would be if he decided to do like a Suitless Meridia before heading back down here to LN, because that's the big thing that we know that's not going to be required. Osse's not going to do anything Suitless.
Oh, is azder using the redesign spray? I guess
probably it's one of his favorites.
He's been playing that a lot.
Yeah, his favorite hack until possibly recently when this new subversion hack came out that we've all been playing and really enjoying. Oh, right. azder doesn't have grapple, which was its screw attack. So Suitless Meridia a little less on the table for him, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really until you have like backdoor access. I was talking about mitts potentially saving. We don't even have a glove. We still don't have that glove.
We have no glove, no hammer. No glove, no mitts, no hammer. Nothing even to indicate AGA is required. I suppose the flippers plus the gravity suit means we could go...
We have Dark World access.
We have Dark World access through Meridia,
Yep.
which is always fun. The horrible thing about Darkworld Access from Meridia is if you mess up and die, it's a huge time loss.
Or if like you need something else, like
Yep,
we haven't
you
done
have to do it
Wreck
twice.
Ship yet. If there's, I don't even. We have so much stuff that's. I can't even come up with something that would be over there that's not, Darkworld Access. But yeah, for if something was like, if you needed like a bow or something, right, for pod. There was an Andy Ivan match like 2 years ago where they like did Meridia like 3 times because they kept like missing the item. That might have been a few too. I think at some point I was musing like, at what point do you just do access so you can just get back fast?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, as you're leaving Norfair. Save and quit. This could be the Eastern play.
Yeah, actually, what do we even need for go mode? We need somaria. We need. We do need the ice rod.
We don't know what we need for Turtle Rock. I was just gonna follow the flippers. That makes sense.
It could be Quake, obviously, but well, unfortunately, follow the flippers in this situation means go to Darkworld, but which he can't do yet.
Right. Well, he's gonna follow the flippers that Osse already did with fake flippers and get nothing out of it.
Yeah, since I mean, unless there's a glove and hammer in Wreck Ship, this definitely looks like it's Darkworld Meridia access, and Azder's just going to be a mile behind.
Yeah, just really doing the one check. Okay. Okay, he's gonna keep going, do the Zora checks. Just didn't want to. I don't know if this is actually faster to save and quit out of the bridge and then go do this separately.
It's probably pretty close. It's really slow to swim back.
It really is. That's why when people always talk about pairing, doing all the flippers checks at the same time, I do not consider the bridge check close to the rest of the flippers checks.
Yeah, I usually the only time I really do it is if I have boots, because you can dash back with the stored water walk.
Yep.
But usually I'll just leave hobo until I have flippers because it's pretty quick to just check that off from a save and quit at any point. Or potentially you can do it with some like Darkworld routing when you're coming over to like pod or something, or Pyramid Ferry. Assuming you have the mirror, but yeah, I mean it can burn you, but I think generally, Osse's doing it too.
Osse also doing the clip. Okay, and Zora, as we know, has nothing. Let's see where Azder goes next. Are we actually going to go to Eastern this time? It's going to be a relatively quick Eastern. We don't have boots, so could be quicker. Silver arrows for Armos is certainly nice.
In here.
It's kind of scary when you kill too many of those fire fleas and maybe you don't have high jump and space jump and you're down at the bottom and you can't see where that gets really tough.
With those flippers, I think Osse is just going to beeline Meridia now.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, like flippers, hookshot, gravity suit, and speed. Like that is. It could not be screaming Darkworld access through Meridia any louder at you.
Yep.
Like, I would certainly consider it without flippers here, just sequence breaking it. I think even that would be a really strong play, but when it's literally everything, like, that's got to be what you do.
Yep. Okay, so we are going to see Eastern from Azder. A little bit unfortunate, Osse's going to get over here, and he'll be able to do... he might not be able to finish pod, but he'll be able to clear pod of everything but Helmasaur with that bow. and then Mire to Eastern and just do it.
Yeah, I would still save pod till last, because you have the flippers. You can just jump back into the lake and then reroute around, just to not have to double dip it.
That's true, because the hookshot gets you to all the stuff to the west.
Yeah.
Maybe, just maybe, you get a hammer.
So I would just go around the whole loop. If you get to the Hype Cave and you still haven't found anything, you're going into swamp at that point. Like, you just can't leave. Like, once you do this Dark World, like, you can't leave anything. This is one of the, like, in, like, Skullwood's a green pendant. Like, you're doing that. Like,
oh yeah, because the problem is, if you skip something, and it's the thing you need, now you're going all the way back through Meridia in order to just get that access. Now, interesting, Azure finds that Master Sword. He now has a reasonable aga to do. Like right now, for him, he's a grapple beam away from actually logically being able to do exactly what Osse's doing, and just much slower because he doesn't have gravity suit. Because the logic can have you go through Suitless Meridia to the portal. That is a thing that can happen.
Yeah.
And if you know that's the case, like if I have a Fire Rod Aga versus Suitless Meridia for Dark World, I'm doing Fire Rod Aga.
Slaughter's once joked to me that he's pretty sure he can get through Suitless Meridia faster than Aga Tower.
Well, like, for Slaughters, that's probably true.
Yeah,
like he's one of the best Super Metroid players. His Link to the Past is not. But I mean, we also, you know, when you get some of these stronger, I've definitely seen Link to the Past players where they'll do it's just the opposite. Like, even if it was, you know, gravity suit Meridia, nice, they might feel like it's faster for them to just do the Aga play.
That might have been the dumbest blown spike suit I've ever seen.
And this is good for Azure. Osse's also doing the Croc play because that's time that Azure used and got nothing out of it. So, you know, Osse will do the same.
Yeah, a little surprised. Like, you have speed, so you can do this later. Again, the seed is just screaming at you to go to. Well, again, I guess again, what I was saying, like, if
I think this is I don't ever want to come back here. But on the other hand, there's a good chance. Well, no, Osse probably will. Osse may never have to come back here because he did get that flute. Unless mitts are in Mire.
Yeah, that's, like I said, that's usually pretty rare. That's why with the flute, I just tend to greenlight it. This is also, I don't say this too often, but save scumming at Upper Norfair just to go back through Frog Speedway if this is a bust.
Yeah, neither runner did that. It's something you. I mean, Azure is usually very on top of save scums of that nature, so maybe a little surprised he didn't. But okay, that's Eastern Palace for Azure. Hard not to face plant those 5 rupees, and Osse probably going to go to Meridia. Where is Azure going?
Escape.
Yeah, this could be. I mean, that Fire Rod potentially gets him all of escape. I don't think we have the small key yet. So there's no guarantee he can get to the back.
Yeah, I think this is a little early to be making this Brain Genius Aga play that you were talking about. Like, I think you'd still want to do, like, wreck ship and everything first.
Yeah.
You know, gravity could just be hanging out there. He has... No, he doesn't have grapple.
No, he doesn't.
Because that was... Unless for some reason he went down to GT and didn't go in him, I can't imagine he did that.
I don't think he had... I don't recall seeing grapple on his HUD. So yeah, you don't go to GT and don't go to and skip Mire. IQ, our tracker says no, Azure does not have grapple. And that's what we pay the trackers for. They are our MVPs. Can't do it without them.
Yeah, really impressive because we didn't even see it. Yeah, if I'm in Osse shoes, I don't really expect anything to be here. Maybe like, you know, a charge or a beam or something. I'm sort of just, you know, doing this out of obligation because, like, it just really feels like it's going to be in Dark World.
I mean, interestingly enough, there doesn't have to actually be anything in Meridia.
It doesn't have to be anything anywhere. Like,
yeah,
it could be hammer and glove and wreck ship. Like,
but here's the scenario: if Azure decides I want to just do Aga, you know, fire rod, or you know, scores a lamp somewhere, then his Meridia could potentially be. Of course, he still doesn't have that grapple beam, so he'd have to have another way out.
That's what I was saying. Like, he doesn't have that grapple, so like. He doesn't have the.
It is a thing he could do.
It is a thing he can do, but it's like.
Well, it's not just a thing he could do. It's a thing he would do if the only thing left on the table was killing Dragon.
Yeah, it's just he's missing some key info. I mean, it's not even suitless. It's obviously suited.
Yeah.
Meridia.
Yep.
But the grapple is right next to the gravity suit, which would hint at it potentially being suitless. So like, he's just missing too much info, I think, to sniff out that play and really. The only thing I can see is he just like realizes that's what it has to be and realizes he left it there, or at least hopes that it's not, you know, not hammer and glove.
Yep.
And says like, okay, well, I'm probably a million miles behind, so I have to make this out of just desperation. That's the only thing, because azder will meta play, especially.
Oh yeah, he absolutely will.
I think he's like the one guy who's like kind of known for that.
There's a hammer.
Hammer.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, we still have the glove, but
where are we going?
It could just be glove and.
Okay, I think this is the wreck ship play.
This is a wreck ship. Probably all. I wouldn't be surprised. Just gauntlet and then loop back around a wreck ship because we do have that hanging.
Yeah, I could see that.
If this
also criteria power bombs.
No, not getting that wave. Yeah, if this isn't Suitless Meridia, or, you know, Meridia Dark World access, and this glove is just hanging out somewhere, like... A, azder's right back in this thing, and B, that is absolutely clown shoes. That's... Yeah, I think we're gonna get these cleanups here. We do also have the 2 speed checks.
I don't see those getting checked anytime soon. And rip red mail for Osse there.
Well, if it is potentially this, you know, we know where the gravity suit is. Like I said, azder's gonna do them. Like what else is he gonna do? He's gonna do those speed checks before going back to GT and Mire.
You think?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if he gets a cane and a medallion, I could see him.
If he gets a cane and medallion, maybe, but.
You get space jump as well, because that gets one extra item you can get. I mean, that ether could still be required for Total Rock. Space jump go mode, not my favorite thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I've had it before. It's not my favorite thing.
Nah, it's pretty bad. But
interesting. He's keeping that super missile.
I was gonna say. Oh, he scouted back. Okay, I was like...
Yeah, we've seen both runners scouted back.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. From azder's perspective, he really hasn't gotten much progression. I mean, that hammer, to him, is basically useless. It doesn't open
anything yet.
So the only progression he's found recently is that speed, too. So, like, he really might be thinking it's those speed, especially if... he does have the one here, obviously, in wreck ship. But if this comes up empty...
If it's
Nice.
not glove in Rec Ship, and we have to find it elsewhere, I'm not sure he's got anything left but to do either a Suitless Meridia play for not much, or go back to GT, and that might be the thing that gets him back there.
Yeah, I mean, I think azder. I mean, who knows? Like, I'm really bad at like pulling the nose up when I might have made a mistake, but especially against Osse, azder might be thinking like, well, I skipped it, and if that's it, then I'm
I mean that is a thing that he will think in a lot of situations. So
the flip side is if your opponent skipped it, maybe you can pull it back out sooner.
Yeah,
we obviously know that didn't happen, but
it's just kind of one of those things where, you know, Suitless Meridia, no spring ball, no grapple beam, so it can't even get very far. Kind of slow.
Osse definitely tends to be pretty thorough, so I feel like that'd be a very weird skip for him. Honestly, I felt like it was weird for azder even, but you know, Osse just sort of relies on, you know, having the superior execute. Not that he necessarily has it here, but
he has it with most players. So
yeah, so he just tends to be pretty thorough. And like the thing when you're playing azder, it just like it feels like the match is out of your hands. Like he's either gonna do something ridiculous and get like a 149, or he's gonna do something ridiculous and get like a 330, and it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna like play the game and then I'll just see where he finishes. Like,
yeah, Chad asking about the hammer. It was back of escape, but that hammer's not in logic until we either find a glove or a lamp.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Because this is not like Link to the Past, where Fire Rod actually puts the back of escape in logic. Makes it, you know, pretty easy to do, but...
Yeah, that's true. It could have very well possibly have been glove and hammer back there, and it still would have been quote-unquote logic Dark World Meridia, which would make this equipment layout make a lot more sense.
Yep. Okay, Osse's gonna skip Shack and Plasma. I support this. Those checks are horrible. We're gonna get Ice Rod Cave. I like it when, you know, it's not often you get to route Ice Rod Cave here. It's kind of nice when you do. I don't think we've seen this from either side, so this is a new check. And nothing interesting.
Yeah, glove would have been the comedy answer for that one.
Yeah, you know what? That would have been funny. And we're going to start seeing stuff in Rec Ship, and... So Osse's not going to, if he does decide to do pod here, he's not going to be able to do all of it. He's going to have to double dip it.
Well, like I said, I think skipping pod is...
I mean, I could see both arguments. On the one hand, I like your routing idea, since you do have the flippers. You can wrap back all the way back around the world to get back there. On the other hand, it is a lot of checks that you can do right now. You can clear Eastern. So I could see doing it either way.
Yeah,
it's not unusual for Hammer to be in pod. It does happen.
Except for Skull Wood, which is a pendant here, which you're going to be priced into doing. And then,
which is green pendant, if I'm not mistaken. So then you can just turn it on your way in. So that would be reason to,
But like, besides that, and then like I said, you're probably just going to do that swamp play just because it's a nightmare to get back.
Yep.
If you've gotten absolutely nothing. Everything else is required, right? So, like, and he's going to do pod. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. He does have Eastern, but I still think the other way would have been better, especially because you get that very free green pendant turn in that situation, and you get to knock off Thieves Town, which is required.
Yep.
And like you're gonna do a bunch of other stuff. You get Graveyard Ledge, which will get that off your table.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a big deal. But
we know he's not going to be any more punished doing this now than doing it after he loops around, because he's not finding, until he finds a glove, he's not getting that hammer. You know? Like if he finds a glove, he could bail on the whole loop and start over or something.
With Mire, the Mire to clean up escape check at Pyramid is fairly common, so we could see that hammer early.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, never mind. I'm an idiot. He can't actually get to the left. Oh no, he has the flippers.
No, he's got
he's got the flippers.
He's got a hook shot to get to the west, and then flippers.
Well, no,
to get back.
usually you need. I was thinking you need a glove or hammer to get past, but he's got the flippers. He can.
Yeah.
Around. Yeah, actually, if this was what I said before about sequence, the sequence break would have been a bad idea because it would have just been hard stuck. I would have forgotten about that and been lost because of it if I didn't have the flippers in the situation.
Yeah, I think the one time I did do the fake flipper was because I knew that hammer was sitting on Zoro Ledge, and I didn't have. I think this made me before Splash, so it was even big. I don't remember. So it's like, okay, I know it's there. This fake flipper instead of going and doing Aga. Yeah, okay, so that's his tempered sword. Was there a sword in the area, in the desert Endor Mire area? That must be the sword that Azure doesn't have.
Must have been. Unless it was in Meridia.
No, I think he had. So. I think he had Master Sword before. Okay.
Sword in desert. Okay.
I hear our tracker saying desert. Okay. So this wreck ship is starting to look like a bust, which is really unfortunate for Azure in that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the best thing you could find here would be like an ice rod. Or Cane of Somaria, you know, something that doesn't necessarily.
Here is a glove.
No, because if he gets the glove, now he gets to do Dark Roll, and is just further away from getting all the gravity suit and the Mire axis. If you get something that still forces him to go do the Mire area, get gravity suit, and get the flute.
Yeah, but if he gets the glove, the problem is he's got this whole extra lava dive that Osse's not going to have to do, that he needs to sort of reclaim. So.
Yeah, he has to do that at some point, regardless, because of where the flute is. But the thing is,
the flute.
We want to make sure, you know, he wants something to be here that Osse has to get, and something like a Cane of Somaria, an ice rod, and a glove would do that too. But a glove would take Azure further away from going and getting the stuff over in the Mire area. Whereas I think if he doesn't get something here, his choices are go back to GT or go into Suitless Meridia, and have to believe you do go back into GT before you do a Suitless Meridia that you can't even complete because you don't have Grapple Beam. I guess he also has the 2 speed checks in Waterway and Climb Supers.
Yeah, I can't see him skipping those.
So far, we have one last chance to get something good in Wreck Ship. Like, nothing being here is bad, because Osse might never have to do all of the stuff that he's doing right now. And yeah, it was absolutely nothing. Whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, I mean, we're like, once we find that glove, a lot of stuff's going to open up, and if, you know, Somaria and Bombos are just kind of sitting there on path, then, you know, this is certainly a wreck ship skippable seed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless, like, Somaria is on, like, Chacto or something like that, where Osse's going to, like, last location it.
Yeah, I mean, this is bad that Azure had to end a full clearing wreck ship and had gotten nothing out of it. Because there's every possibility that Osse's never going to have to do that. He might just be able to do it at the very end.
This might just be...
He's headed down to Norfair and Meridia.
Yeah, we'll see which one...
Also, going to point out, Suitless Meridia with only Ice Beam really sucks. Give me a Phaser, give me a Wave, please.
Yeah.
I would think it'd be faster to do...
I don't think Azure did X-Ray either.
He's not done X-Ray. He can't... With speed and high jump, it's pretty free. He's going to do that right now. And that's why he didn't go through Zelda, is because he wanted to do this check. Like, this... You know, his health is a little bit low, so that's a little bit scary, but he does have Varia suit, so it should be fine. But these jumps are free with both speed and high jump. So he'll get his half magic, or he'll skip his half magic.
Yeah.
I'm not. No,
No.
he was thinking about skipping that.
I think
in
I wouldn't be
SMZ3, I think
surprised
you
if it
pick it up.
was. Well, he doesn't have the lamp yet. I've certainly
Well,
been.
yeah, there's that. But I'm also thinking in terms
Well, he's got
of
silvers, so never mind.
but I'm also thinking in terms of because the bottles always come empty, and you don't always want to have to go out of your way to fill them. That half magic just makes it much simpler. In the meantime, we have a vanilla big key over at Pod, because why not? Okay, oh, he's going to go up the waterway, and Criteria Super is this way. This is interesting. So we're going to get a gate glitch. He is going to need to get some health here, because he can't Shine Spark on 28.
It depends on how much is in his reserves.
Yeah, he could pop his reserve before the spark. It takes it's 80 something to get all the way through.
Well, there's also, you can lay a power bomb up the top and pop some energy there and just shine through it.
Yep. Yeah, see, there he goes. There he's going to pop some of that reserve. Actually, he's just going to pop all of it. Yeah, this can get really dangerous if you don't have a suit and you're trying to Shine Spark through this and on low health. Like if you don't quite make it all the way through and you didn't power bomb ahead of time, you're just dead. And just another bottle, but not really worth.
Yet?
Nope, we've seen bottles.
Yeah, we've seen bottles.
They have not been back to Kakariko since they've gotten bottles. Meantime, I haven't been really watching Osse. I'm not sure he's gotten much in Pod, but he's just now getting to the part where it's more than just keys. So.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't hammer jump there with the big key, an extra key.
I think it's more valuable if you don't have Mire.
Yeah, it still saves you some routing if oh, he doesn't have the lamp. Yeah. If I don't have the lamp, I don't do it. I knew the backwards at one point, and then I just kind of gave up, and I was like, whatever, it's not that.
Oh, I just pull up the map. I could do either one. I know some people prefer the backwards, which I think is kind of strange, but I just do either, whichever I'm doing. When you play a lot of cross keys, the back comes up all the time. Doing it from the back comes up all the time because you want to save that 6 key.
That's true. Yeah, any key sanity.
And boots in. Well, it's going to make Osse's run faster.
Punished. Jeez. I mean, if you can go like, hey, Osse, you can get a non-required item in here. What do you want? You'd be like, I want boots. Like,
yeah.
I mean, at this point.
Like, was that Bombos?
Yeah, I'm so mad.
Well, okay, so.
I mean, the Bombos doesn't really affect, like, as far as, like, the routing at before versus after. But boots sure does. Boots, honestly, I don't know if boots makes... No, boots probably make... Because really the double dip is just... This... Like, pod itself is not bad at double dip. It's this walk, which is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Having boots being able to speed up the rest of your light world probably makes doing pod better than my routing, which makes me so mad.
Okay, so Azder now has 2 choices from what I can tell. He can either go back to GT... Well, no, there's 3 choices. He can do Suitless Meridia, which would be bad. He can go down to GT and get all the information that Osse already has. Or he can do Aga with the Fire Rod. And if he does Aga with the Fire Rod, he probably gets all the goodies in Pod. So
I'll be interested to see if Osse... I feel like with the boots, you're just going to clean up escape here. I think that's the smart thing to do.
Azder's going to do the shovel first. Forgot about that.
Yep, there we go. So Osse's going to get his hammer. So that means he's going to be 2 gloves, an ice rod, and somaria away from go mode, or potentially either space or quake too.
Yeah, and shovel is nothing. And what are we doing here? Because
Sick kid.
Azder's trying to do everything before he has to make that decision between those 3 things that I mentioned.
Yeah, the way he's playing this, I kind of think he's going to do Suitless, because it does look like he's in the mentality of, if it's there, then I'm already dead lost. So.
Mhm. And none of these checks he's done has paid off. Not a single one. The only thing that's paid off was that hammer. We also have.
That didn't even pay off. Well, yeah.
I mean, you have to get a hammer at some point, so.
Yeah, I'm just saying, getting it did not.
Doesn't open a thing.
Yeah, it didn't help him in any way, shape, or form.
All it does is it makes the Aga play a little bit better, because you can just do pod once you get there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's still the third option. Is he does Aga. But again, without that grapple, we're thinking that it might be... Yeah.
And nothing at Magic Bat. Okay, Mountain Cave. So this is going to be either Meridia or GT.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was coming here no matter what. Like, I don't...
Or...
Hera
Basement? Oh my god.
Yeah. I think he's going to do Suitless just because he definitely seems like he's in the mode of, like...
I just, to me, when you're wrong, if you're wrong about Suitless, you just lose so much time. We saw that yesterday with Ivan versus Maniacal. Like, Ivan betting on Suitless Meridia, and there was literally absolutely nothing there. And as it turned out, the gravity suit was available.
The problem is, if he's wrong about skipping GT, he's lost against Osse. Like, so he's already in that situation.
Yeah, so. I suppose. I think there's enough stuff still outstanding that I think if he does Suitless Meridia, it's just over. Whereas if he does the GT thing, then, like Ice Rod could be a trolley spot. I guess Ice Rod's the only thing we're missing. Ice Rod, Canis, and Somaria. We still have 2 gloves to find. And we, I want to see the Gloveless Seed. That is possible with Fast Cannon. But with Turtle Rock being a crystal, that's not happening today.
Completely Gloveless is possible? I know Mitsless is possible.
Oh, sorry, not Gloveless, Mitsless. You're right. I don't think completely gloveless is possible.
Gloveless, the only dungeons that actually require glove is
Ice,
which required mitts anyways, right? Turtle Rock, and
Turtle Rock doesn't require. Turtle Rock requires a glove to get there.
Yeah, that's it.
Could we have a gloveless?
Yeah, because you could do desert without a glove.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, because you can mirror from the back. Oh, you're right. And there was nothing in Suitless Meridia.
I mean, honestly, even if desert did card require a glove, it would still be possible just because that's the third.
Oh, we're getting the Aga play.
Huh? This is probably he still has to make that play. Like,
he still has to lava dive again. Like, there's no getting around that.
The more thinking about,
I like this better than Suitless Meridia.
He doesn't know about the flute. He thinks the flute might be able to save him.
Yep.
I'm just thinking, like, if you just know, like, okay, it is. I'm supposed to be doing Meridia, and the thing to get me there was, shouldn't I just go there and get it? I mean, I guess he's hoping it's Suitless was the answer. Like, it was if it was just the grapple down there, not the gravity suit, right? Then it'd be Suitless access, which this would then make sense. But unfortunately, the gravity's just down there.
Yeah, and this is actually pretty free with Fire Rod. If you know where to, as long as you know where those torches are. Well, there's our glove. Glove number 1.
Never pun. Going to pod first was... so much
I
better.
mean, he's gonna have to double dip. Azder's gonna be able to just do it after he's done with Aga. I'm sure it'll be his first thing to do is full clear pod.
No, I meant versus. I'm mentally also playing this game, and I'm just
I
mad
see.
that
Your decisions are not the ones that Osse's making, and therefore he's getting them right.
No, I think he's getting them wrong and lucky. That's,
okay, fair enough.
That's the issue.
I mean, it happens sometimes. There is luck involved in these randomizers.
Yeah,
let's face
definitely.
it. An energy tank at Lumberjack that Azure will be able to get if he wants.
So now, now that he's got the, because I was saying like you're in this when you're still in this like proto Dark World state, you sort of have to be full clearing. Now that he's got true Dark World access, he's certainly not required to do Skullwoods. He might still do the front here.
Like he is.
Yeah, I think I would have. I would have skipped it at this point, but he's
doing
maybe Somaria here or something, and never punished.
I mean, he could full clear this dungeon if he wants to. I wonder if he goes and gets the green pendant.
Yeah, I think if you make this play at this point, you sort of are priced into the green pendant.
Yeah, specifically because it's the green pendant, and you can check Ped while you're here, but
he's just
what
got,
can even be on Ped? Like
the issue I have with this is you just so much better stuff has opened up.
Mm-hmm.
You have Swamp, you have Thieves Town to just do, and then you have Flute. You could just come back here at any time.
Mm-hmm.
I just think doing the more valuable stuff first, because if it's just Swamp and Thieves Town, you know, it's just GG and you're done.
Mm-hmm.
You just never had to touch this. And this is very easy just to get back to. It could also be like he was just planning on doing this and he got the glove literally the one check before and you're already sort of like... I think Osse's generally pretty good at not doing that stuff, but, you know.
So the interesting thing for Azure, if he can manage, he's going to get Bombos in pod. If he can manage to get a Cane of Somaria before he's forced back to the GT check, and he's going to be forced back to that because it's the only way he can do Mire. It's the only way. Yeah, it's the only way he can do Mire. Mire is a crystal. He's just gonna be able to do Mire. And Osse still needs to go back there. Now, granted, Osse will have a flute to get back there, but you know, it's not as quite as bad. Like the bigger thing, honestly, with Azure is he did all those extra little checks that I don't think Osse's ever gonna do. I don't think Osse's full clearing Wreck Ship. I don't think he's gonna be doing the 2 speed checks in Brinstar and Criteria. I don't think he's gonna be, might never check the shovel, magic bat, all that stuff.
Yeah, I honestly, I think Azur's out here is he gets that gravity suit very late, and then he does Plasma Shack, and one of the items is there. I think
that could be it.
I think that's his big hope, honestly, because that'll make he's just done so much stuff that Osse hasn't done, Wreck Ship and the speed checks and all that kind of stuff that he needs Osse to do those to get back.
Yeah, exactly. He needs Ice Rod or the second glove to be in a bad enough spot that Osse's going to be doing all that stuff too.
He's also doing pod first.
Well, he can finish it. He has hammer. He should be doing pod first.
Yeah. I withdraw my objection.
Osse has to come back here. He does not. Yeah, and chat pointing out that I got completely not required. But
it wasn't even in logic for Aster.
I mean, and he knows it. He knows he's got to believe, figure it's not required. But if to his mind the right answer was Suitless Meridia to get there, I agree with the play, especially with the Fire Rod. I'm not sure I would do Dark Aga over Suitless Meridia. I definitely every time would do Fire Rod Aga if my other option was Suitless Meridia.
Yeah, I mean, to Azur's brain, Dark World is not in logic, period.
Yeah.
not Suitless.
Yep. He's gonna get some nice stuff here.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's stuff Osse already has. That's
I know, right? I mean, it could be worse. It could be that he misses this, and he misses those boots and has to walk around everywhere.
Yeah. Azder also can now skip Skullwoods.
Well, we don't know Green Pendant yet, but yeah, I don't see him doing Skullwoods. As he'll be looking to cut corners, and that's an easy corner
Ice
to
is
cut.
the third. Unless he just goes full. Well, there's Quake. That's so. Yeah. Unless Turtle Rock is Ether, that's one step closer. Or one less out for Azder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if Ether were the item and Space Jump shows up on this route.
Oh yeah, if it is Ether, like if Azder, we find Space Jump, that's another thing that could potentially save. I mean, I'm starting to get convoluted, but like, you know, Ether is Turtle Rock, Mitts are in Mire type of thing. Like that'd be good for Azder.
If he could manage to do this such that he doesn't have to do any of Meridia but Dragon. Like we didn't see anything. Osse didn't find anything in Meridia.
That is true. There was nothing in Meridia. So
if he could avoid the Meridia checks, that could balance out his wreck ship.
Yeah, but I mean, part of the problem is just like if you just walked in right now, like Azder's just purely behind. Like, it's not like Osse has, you know, Meridia to do, and like that would catch Azder up. Like it's that price has already been paid, and Osse is still ahead.
Yep.
So Azder really needs Osse to go do wreck ship.
Yeah. So we need Ice Rod or the second glove to be in a bad enough spot that Osse ends up doing wreck ship, because at some point your wreck ship becomes your densest play if you're Osse.
Yeah, I mean even just Ice Rod and Mire, right? Yeah. When Azder finally gets back there, like Osse is not.
No, well, you don't do Caneless Mire before you do wreck ship. You know?
Yeah, Mitts and Mire in any form I think is good for Azder.
Yeah, that would force Osse to dive into lower Norfair again instead of being able to do.
Well, there's
that space jump.
That's. Well, no, I was gonna say that's another out loss for Azder. That's actually good for Azder because he can go back with space and then straight into Mire.
And just everything's faster.
Now, Ether has to be Turtle Rock for the situation to matter.
For that to matter, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course. I do wonder where that lamp is, since we did have a required item behind it here at that Bombos.
The weird thing is, like, I think if you just, like, told Azder right now, like, hey, Gravity Suit is in Mire, I don't think he goes gets it. Like, if you just gave him that one bit of information and nothing else.
Yeah, I know.
Like, don't even say if Osse has it or not. I think you just, like, I'm not getting it, because I have to hope that, like, the answer is something else, you know?
Mm-hmm. There's that Bombos. And Azder will go finish Helmasaur.
I'll be interested to see if... I think if Azder... I think there's two ways Azder could play this. He can either say, like, I'm not going to touch any of the pendants now, and just hope, like, Osse did the desert and the skull, and try to make us plan that way. Or, I think I'm so behind, I'm already playing for Ped. Granted, the Mitts need to show up for that to be a thing.
We know Ped is not the answer. We checked Ped. Right. It's I want to say an energy tank.
Yeah.
I think it was a heart from the future, which is an energy tank.
Yeah, Azder can. That's right. Azder also has the book, so he would just check it if he's thinking that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because if he's in good, if you do Skull Woods, you're gonna check pad. Like there's no reason not to.
Well, I would think in Azure situation you just mirror check ped, and if it's not, then you abandon Skull Woods and hope Osse just did it. Because you know you're out of ped isn't on the table, so you play aggressively the other way, I think. Now, it could still be green pendant. We haven't seen it yet. That could very well be the answer.
Could still be a thing, yep.
Oh, Osse. That's 5 shame points right there.
And of course, azder will save time not having to double dip this pod.
Is there... I don't know if there's an item on helmet or not.
I don't know. I think there is. I want to say I've seen mapping compass, but I certainly won't swear to it. It feels like Helmo doesn't like to have items, so it would not surprise me.
Doesn't like have good items, that's for sure.
Well, yeah.
Vidi's the one that like never has an item. That's the one that's...
Vidi likes to have the small key.
Yeah. It's so rare for Vidi to have an item for whatever reason. I don't quite understand why, but...
I'm guessing because three small keys and it can be there, so...
I was like, Helmo doesn't have an item. That was the wrong boss. Alright, we'll see if this is something, it's actually pretty good for Azure, because Osse will probably be playing this off for a while. It's nothing.
It's missiles. It was an item.
Probably clean, especially with flute and everything, you probably clean that up before you do anything truly gross, so...
Yeah, but an Azure with the Mire and an Aga kill can just save and quit to the pyramid.
Yeah, it's gotta navigate. It's one of the downsides from fast game. You gotta navigate around that hole every time.
I know, right? Yeah, it's been interesting the way the fast scan. When I made the call to do this fast scan, I mean, part of it was just wanting to show off something of the new logic that Total had come up with, but literally everything else just almost virtually guaranteed that you weren't be seeing Ridley or Dragon, because that's just obvious skips if you're lowering your crystal counts. So I went with fast scan, and it's definitely been an interesting the way that's played out.
Yeah, I'm starting to like it more.
Yeah, here's what I like about it. When Maniacal got into Go mode yesterday, we were like, it was like, oh yes, go quickly go through Swamp Palace, quickly kill Ganon, quickly go through Turian. It was such quick Go mode, and SMZ3 is known for really long Go modes. You have to finish your dungeons, then you have to do a Ganon's tower climb. There's certainly some debate. It is a part of the base game, like Ganon's tower. I mean, watching someone do a really good Ganon's tower climb is really, really fun. I wish I could do it that good.
The thing is, it's more than just like, it's not just like, oh, you don't have to do GT. Like we said, like it opens up completely glovelessy, for instance. And then the other thing is, there's always the like routing, like, oh well, I kind of want to do Turtle Rock last, so it also changes your routing and stuff. So
and like you were talking about
options and everything. So I think in general, like, have you ever seen a race where someone has taken the lead in GT? Like, these things are so long, like they tend not to be decided by
you don't see it. You don't see it in SMZ3 very often. You see it in Link to the Past. Like that is definitely a thing that happens in Link to the Past by itself. But yeah, you're right. You don't see it that often in SMZ3, where the Ganon's tower climb is the game changer, or the big key hunt is the game changer.
The other thing it takes away the complete just coin flip over which way you go, and it takes away the miracle. I'm just gonna do, like, if I think I'm losing, I'm just gonna do tire room first.
Yeah,
like that's just a horrible way to lose. Like, oh, I'm losing, so therefore I'm gonna do this 1 in 21 thing to win. Like, that's just, it's an awful way to lose. It just completely removes that. So. Yeah, I think I prefer it, honestly, and it, like you said, just makes it shorter. Like, and especially for like the top players, I don't really think the GT skill difference matters between any of those guys.
And as you're blind checking Lumberjack, which makes sense since he already killed Aga, gets that E-tank.
Yeah, YOLOing co-op kind of makes sense because you just can sort of split the duties anyways.
Well, a lot of times, like you'll see, depending on the timing of the two players entering, like one player might be almost done, so you just send the other player into time room.
Yeah, I don't like. I think fast cannon for co-op wouldn't be good, but for single, I think it's. I'm starting to think it's just strictly better, honestly.
Okay, and Osse going into Swamp Palace. We'll see if he full clears this. We already know there's an item on left side because that compass happened immediately. I always hate that. Actually, you know, I say that, but it's just as bad when you decide to go to the back of Swamp, and you're like, okay, I can still have the God Swamp. I can still not have any items on the left side, and like literally the next two items are map and compass. Happens all the time.
Yeah, that's why I really don't like the diver down. The only time I do it is if the big key's early, because like if the big key's late and then it's kind of like you have to come back in anyways. Like
Yeah, I very rarely do it, but yeah, especially without the big key, because.
And then of course you just get the extra information. Like I've done it. Like I've had a big key early and then map compass on left side, and it's still bad.
It feels so bad. I had map compass on left side once, and it will never happen again because I will not ever do it again if I don't at least know, if I don't have a map or compass and a big key. Even then, I'm probably not going over there. But yeah.
Yeah, I still if I have a big key, I'll do it. Like map compass being over, that's just unfortunate. Like I think that's probably a little too conservative, but.
And we see morph bombs in Swamp.
If I don't have the big key, it could just be too much of a nightmare. Especially if big key's on Argus. Like, you're coming back in anyways. Like, what did you really even save yourself then?
Okay, so Osse is not doing left side first. We'll see if he chooses to go back in. For those of you that may have missed it, Gravity is at Mire Shed, which is only accessible through Lower Norfair because the flute is at GT. The SMGT, that is. And when azder did Lower Norfair, he did not do those checks. So he's probably going to full clear this Dark World and still be missing stuff. He's not actually that far behind Osse in terms of this full clear. He really needs somaria to show up. Osse also with the sword ahead because he's got that tempered. Now, did we see a map compass? Well, we saw one of the map compass. Do we see the other and/or the big key? Like we're trying to figure out how many items he has to decide on.
I have no idea.
Okay, sounds like chat says we've only seen a compass, so that means it's one item. If I'm Osse, I'd probably leave that, honestly. It's one item. Yeah, it sucks if it's the item and you skip it, but... But yeah, and we did see the lamp on Bombo's tablet, which does confirm that the Meridia axis was the logical axis. But we pretty much
knew that because we saw everything.
I don't think there was anything left to see when azder went ahead and did. Like he even knows it. Like he doesn't.
I suppose like Shack Tool could have had lamp, and then
yeah,
like, technically it's not through Meridia, but like
yeah, exactly.
Just going that way anyway. Like, but yeah.
Oh, so apparently we didn't see the big key either. So not only is it just one item, it's the possibility where you go to the left side and you get a map on one side and the big key on the other side and you have to go back to the big chest. So yeah, I'm totally with Osse on skipping left side here. And we are going to get a pyramid fairy check.
Yeah, also from Osse's perspective, the seed feels pretty free. So like he's already getting to 143, he knows he's playing azder, right? Like so you know, he's probably starting to feel the pressure a little bit. I mean, you know, we know he's way ahead, but he certainly doesn't know that.
Yeah, so. I imagine this will be Pyramid Fairy, and then he'll go finish pod.
No, he'll just gonna float over to pod at some point.
Okay. That's right, he does have the flute.
What does he do now?
Honestly, probably wreck ship.
Yeah, probably.
Unless, yeah, no glove.
You know, we've seen a lot of stuff. It's now starting to look like...
This is where Osse maybe has to start doing the things that azder's already done. This could be catfish.
Yeah, this is catfish. If he went to pod, I was gonna scream. Like... Yeah, he probably does wreck ship. It's actually starting to look like the, miracle situation for azder. Oh, we have this mushroom. Oh, gotta hold on.
Wow,
catfish.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good time to turn it in. Yeah,
You didn't do the thing. Come on, man. I know it's against hazard, but you gotta do it.
The thing?
Yeah, the glitch. He's got powder. You gotta do the glitch. He's the one I got it from. Like, he's gotta do it.
Nice peace heart refill there. Oh, yeah, azder's gonna do all these tricks. I don't think we've seen any smith chain yet.
No, we don't miss.
We don't miss. We can't do smith chain. That's a really, really dumb statement that I had. So you've definitely not seen it.
I think azder's going to be forced to go back to LN.
He's gonna have that choice again. Do I do Suitless Meridia? Do I do LN? And gotta believe you do LN before Suitless Meridia when you still don't have, Spring Ball still hasn't shown up. Your beam situation kind of sucks.
Yeah, he's in a weird situation because, he's sort of reached the end of his rope of because he was assuming it was Suitless Meridia to get through, so he was just trying to hard avoid that, and he was like, well, I don't want to do the thing I skipped, so he's gonna have to roll back one of those two things,
right?
I think.
And
obviously, the thing he's got to do is
go yell at Osse now.
Did he run back? No, he fluted here.
Did he flute? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, he fluted. That's fine. It's fine to flute.
We're going to see the green pendant, and green pendant is nothing, predictably.
Oh, with green pendant, it makes sense to do this right now.
So Skullwoods is empty. I don't think azder didn't touch it. He's going to go get his lamp here. That will confirm what he already suspects. The Aga play was not the logical access to Dark World.
I think this is... Yeah, I was seeing what his reaction was going to be. From azder's perspective, I think that's good for him. He wants his dumb play to make sense.
Yeah. So now azder's going to go into the Swamp Palace, and he might actually do the left side play afterwards.
Yeah, he's running out.
Because he's running out of things to do other than the things that he's already skipped and doesn't want to go back to. He typically doesn't do the left side diver down play. He only does the diver down, the speedrun version that you all do for the all dungeons restricted major glitches category.
But does he doesn't know the bomb one?
He doesn't do the bomb one.
Huh, interesting.
So I would expect him to do it after. But it would not surprise me given how much more he's done in terms of other than the things that he doesn't want to do because he skipped them. It would not surprise me if he goes back in.
If he gets Somaria here and now he's got 2 medallions, I think that green lights his...
Oh, for sure.
Go back play.
Yep.
So if Somaria's over here and mitts are in Mire, which at this point both are fairly likely.
Yeah.
He's in the lead at that point, with Osse having skipped this.
As long as he actually goes to the Mire area. through Ellen. But yeah, I mean, he's every reason to go back there now. He's got more, even without somaria. He's got more reason to go back there now with space jump and 2 medallions.
Yeah, the 2 medallion thing, I think that's what will push him to doing that. He's got speed to get there fairly quickly and everything.
Yeah, space jump. It's free to get the space jump with screw attack. Super free. You can get all the items. So he'll be able to get that ether medallion even. Like anytime he doesn't have to worry about saving supers, which is kind of nice. You know, that's like one of the big things. And you know, when you have to make the decision whether to do GT if you don't have charge beam, is now I have to farm supers for Ridley. Ridley's already dead, so we don't care. Okay, Osse's done with Pod. Where does he go next? This has got to be wreck ship for him. Like that's the most dense play he has. Oh yeah, there's the reset. So that's good for azder.
The only other thing is maybe just cleaning up the 3 checks here.
You might do that first.
Yeah, that's potential. Just trying to still avoid the wreck ship in general. For
Osse, it's 2 checks because he did X-ray already. But yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. These, you're right. The 2 checks up here, front of gauntlet and criteria power bombs.
Oh, 4. I was actually talking about this and then the 2 speeds.
Well, between the 2 of us, we got all the checks figured out.
Some between 2 and 8 checks.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised just jump right over to gauntlet and then okay, never mind. I was thinking just jump over to gauntlet and then just reset and then you're just back where you started. I'll see doing some math.
Oh, and yeah, he could actually do waterway into just doing Turian. I don't know if you do that yet. I mean, he's got enough ammo that it's not too bad. He's got most of the things. Has ice beam for Zev skip, so it wouldn't be. Like the early Turian play is one I like a lot of the time.
He also knows he's not getting wave, so
yeah, that's true. He's not getting wave. But charge beam could still show up, but his ammo is really good.
Yeah, but without wave, he's still going to use mostly supers anyways, so it's not like the charge beam is going to speed him up that much.
Right.
So, yeah,
it's a reasonable play.
I think it makes sense. Actually,
it gives him think time, which is can be significant. Okay, azder gets his crystal from swamp.
I mean, after this, he's gonna be in the same situation. He's gonna be forced down to lower Norfair again too, in that Mire area, because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah. I mean, there's Shack Plasma.
There is Shack Plasma, yeah.
Okay, no, you're not going back in. I was hoping he'd go back in.
Oh, he's gonna do desert.
Gonna do desert from the front.
I think he realized he has a flute. And, nope. Pretty sure just mirroring and fluting faster, but
he doesn't have the flute.
He doesn't have the flute. That's right.
Yeah, if he had the flute. I don't know. If you're gonna do desert anyway, you might as well pair it in with everything else rather than running over here like this.
I think he's still just trying to avoid having to go.
Yeah, I know.
But like at the problem is at this point, like he needs like mitts and flute to be in here. Like, so yeah, I think you might as well. Yeah, I think you're right here. If he was just a mitts away or just a flute away, then sure. Well, even this is pendant, so I don't. Yeah. I think at this point, yeah, you probably should just nose up and come back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him for not wanting to go back into that left side swamp, but would have been if there could definitely be something there, and we know Osse skipped it, so.
Yeah, I think it's hard to parse all this logic together, but like if you think your opponent did come down here, right, and that was what you were supposed to be doing, you got to assume they did desert with that mirror and everything, so it'd make more sense for you to skip it, and just go back down and do the Mire stuff, but yeah. Actually, wait a minute. We don't have anything else we... Oh, wait, no, we can get into Mire. Right, okay. So it's either Caneless Mire or Shack Plasma now.
Did Osse kill Landmo? Because there's an item on Landmo.
Oh.
Pretty sure he did not. I thought chat said that the sword was in desert.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay. No, okay, he's thinking. Okay, this is again either Meridia or Lower Norfair. Sword is a Gina.
I think the thought is, if he's just coming down here, he can just do Landmo at the end.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But you're already there. Like maybe Landmo could have saved you.
This is GT, so Azder's gonna get all the stuff. Probably will go in. I expect him to go into Mire. So if Mire has something, yeah. This could get us even. Depends on how much of
Mire. He's ahead.
Meridia.
Just because he hasn't touched Meridia.
Yeah, but he might touch it. Yeah, well, I guess it depends on whether he needs to avoid.
He
needs to avoid doing any of Meridia.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the only places in Meridia that could have stuff are the worst ones, and you're not going to do those first.
Right. Well, I mean, you would, if you just come into the front of Meridia, right? Like you would just kind of route those in. Like a lot of times I like doing like right sandpit into Shack up to Plasma, and then I can potentially just reset the whole thing. So like if he's in the situation where, yeah, he needs
Hundo with the safe scum.
Yeah. If he's in the situation where he knows he's going to do him, like just he's biting the bullet on it, then he potentially could do him fairly early. But the problem is that's probably not going to be go mode at that point. So unless they both have something, like, but
yeah.
So he's still going to do the rest of Meridia if he does that. Yeah, I mean the situation right now is like, not like azder needs to avoid Meridia, and then azder needs to go to the worst place faster.
Yeah.
So yeah, it needs to be Mire. It also depends on what Osse does. Osse could potentially come back to Mire. Like azder wants Osse to go to the other place, basically.
Yep.
But if it is Mire, azder is ahead. Because he's gonna get stuff that makes.
Yeah, he gets the ether, so now he knows he can get into Mire no matter what.
Yeah, and Mire's got to be mitts. Like,
probably not happy to see Flute.
Like it can't be Kane, because Kane doesn't open up anything else without mitts.
Yeah,
right?
Kane opens exactly Vitreous.
Yeah, so like unless like mitts has to be, and like Ice Rod also doesn't, so it has to be mitts is the next thing, because we're just out of spaces and Kane isn't open enough. Can't even open. I mean, Ice Rod could be in like Turtle Rock, but
yeah, we do have a few nasty checks. We have Spike Cave is available. We have,
we do have Spike Cave.
Yeah, Spike Cave is available.
I was wondering if we had seen that or not.
We have not.
We don't have an invulnerability item.
So technically not in Logic, but it usually, I mean, well, that would stop Azure. No, he's got Kane. He's got Blue Kane. I say I often, I mean, if I have 14 hearts or more, I just do Spike Cave.
Oh yeah,
you can do it with 14 hearts. It doesn't matter if you have an invincibility item or not.
I was just debating I was saying I was surprised I didn't see it, but if we didn't have an invulnerability item, that would make sense to sort of put it off.
Hey, Azure can get that sword now.
Yeah, I'm surprised Azure didn't do that.
When he was in Desert earlier, yeah. Like he could have done this after the rest of Desert. I guess because he didn't exit on the right side. But I don't know, I might have done it anyway.
The fact that Osse's dropping down instead of leaving and saving and quitting, I think leans Meridia. I think if you're going Norfair, it's probably faster just to go the other way. Oh, that's where Sword was. It was
yeah,
desert adjacent. It was a Gina.
Yeah, it was near desert. Oh, he hasn't done Red Tower.
Oh lord.
These are checks. The first checks that Azure did after Morph Ball. So this could still be into like Waterway and Climb Supers. It's just that Azure had X-ray to clean up, and Osse has the red tower checks to clean up. And here's Gravity Suit for Azure, which is going to open up a bunch of things. And he's going to be
we got a good reaction here.
not happy about that.
There's a loaded delay on the camera, and I thought he was just stone facing it because he knew something was there. But I'm like, come on, man, you gotta.
Okay,
if you're not going to give us
heading
put a
in.
GIF up, you know.
Yeah, and this will be waterway and climb supers for Osse. Wait, what? Okay, so he's got a portal.
What? Oh,
yeah, how? Why?
I don't know.
I don't understand this. Why would you not go into Meridia? I'm sorry, why would you not go into Mire there?
You gotta know, like...
Oh, he's gonna do Meridia. Oh, that's unfortunate.
I mean, he made that Aga play, and nothing really, like... The payoff is going to Mire, right? Like...
Yeah. Yeah, for a moment there, I thought he was gonna try and save that portal, but...
Maybe he's just thinking at this point, like...
First.
It's so likely to be Meridia. It's probably a little hard for him to back out that at the time that was your Dark World access, so that could have been the only thing.
Yeah, maybe he must have changed his mind.
The
thing is,
if it's Shackle, he's going to beat Osse to it.
That's true.
But then he's going to be doing all of Meridian, just...
Yep. Shack or Plasma, he's ahead, but...
he like clawed all the way back. I think this
is... I mean, he's gonna have a really fast Meridia, faster than Osse did, because he does have that space jump. But it's still a lot of checks.
It's just it's such a, like he was very, well, at least to my eye, it looked like he was playing like he was behind and needed to do some stuff to catch up. That's such a weird time to like switch back to like let me go back to like the correct path type of thing.
Yeah,
like that was something I always have trouble like when do I nose up. That felt like not. I don't know, but that felt like not. I mean, I know all the information obviously from commentating, but
yeah, I mean he doesn't have Kane, so he's probably that's probably the bottom line is he doesn't have Kane.
Yeah, but that would be your big play, right? You don't have Kane, so your opponent almost certainly didn't. Well, you know because the Bombas was later, so like that's your home run play, and then you can skip Meridia potentially.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's so much in Meridia, but like we've all seen the empty Meridia, and we're seeing it right now. So
yep, it'll be a slightly faster empty Meridia than Osse had because Osse didn't have space jump, but it's still going to be empty unless he does Shack Tool.
I mean, he's got to do like
he's got to do Shack Tool. He's got to do Shack Tool and/or Plasma.
The problem is he got nothing else besides going back to Mire. Like,
well, I just realized there's one location that we've completely ignored,
which is
Ice Palace.
Mitts.
Could be a Kane there. You're right. We can't do Ice Palace.
I was like, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we would have seen. Either these guys went insane, or we would have seen an Ice Palace at this point.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we have Spike Cave or Osse here.
If this is Mitts, that's crazy. And Mitts love being here. I don't know why, but they absolutely love being here.
And of course, Osse with the double beep. Thanks, Osse. I don't mind the vanilla beep, but it's just a bit much. And it's just arrows. So we'll see if Azure chooses to do the sand pits first. Yeah, so he's going to do the save scum.
Yeah, I would do left first, and then
right into Shack Tool.
Yeah.
Then you do Dragon, and then you do Plasma.
Okay, so Osse is going... Something. Okay, so Azure's still in there. It just needs to be Shack Tool or Plasma, and not Mire. And I mean, this is it. This is the game. Like, whoever is right here is... Because even by the time Osse gets this, Azure will be done with Meridia, so they'll be on even footing.
Yeah, but he's doing right side. Oh, yeah. Okay. No. I don't think he's doing Shack Tool. I think he's going to do the right, check the left sand pit, and then he's going to go do Dragon. Might do
Yeah,
Shack and Plasma together afterwards.
Yeah, I'll do him last. If he skips this and then goes back to Mire, which he just bailed on, like I'm done. Like that, this is zero. That
Like,
can't
the reason,
possibly be the right thing
like,
to do.
The Mire play, part of the reason I thought he'd do the Mire play is just, if that's mitts, and you don't get them, now you're doing what Osse's doing right now.
Well, it's just like
Again, you're coming down here again.
If you assume your opponent got that early, like if your opponent did the same thing as you, like then it's just like who's going faster, and like it's whatever. Mm-hmm. But you have to play like you assuming your opponent got that first. They're almost certainly didn't do Mire, so that's your home run play.
Right, because you didn't.
That's like very obviously your home run play.
Because you didn't have bombos when
yeah,
you would have done this the first time.
So like you see that gravity, you go like either my opponent did something just as dumb and it's just who's going as fast, in which case who cares, or they did this, I'm way behind, and this is obviously the thing I need. And it's like 50%. Well, no, it's not 50. He didn't know anything about Meridia, but
yeah, for him, it's Meridia is such a dense play, and in the end, density won out. But
yeah, but
a little surprised because that's not usually. I mean, azder's not one that always just does the dense play.
But Mire's also like not, unless it's the big key is one of the first two checks. Mire's not the worst dungeon to double dip.
To double, yeah.
Right, it's fairly quick to come back in. Like, it does
suck.
If
it's Kane, if Kane is in there, you just finish it. If mitts are in there, then you can come back easily later. That's a plasma beam. Maybe I'll get it on the way out.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's almost certainly not, unless it's Kane and mitts. Like, Kane is almost certainly not in there, but...
Yeah, a little sad as you just skipped right on by that plasma beam.
Did Osse not check this?
You didn't? Okay.
Said that he forget he had the mirror when he came?
He did. Remember when you talked about him not doing it first, and then I guess he just didn't do it at all?
Oh, he didn't have a glove.
He didn't have a glove.
Right,
he couldn't do it.
Yeah,
Good point.
Okay.
I care keeping on top of everything.
It's so weird not having a glove. Like
I know.
All right, this is. I
So
feel like I've said
azder
this 4 or 5 times, but this is 100% definitely the match now. It's got to be, right? Like we're just out of stuff.
Azder, unfortunately, having not picked up that plasma beam, we'll have to do this the old-fashioned way with ammo and/or shine sparks.
I'm gonna once again state that if
we don't have
azder was right to bail on this, and it's actually nothing here, I'm again gonna be mad because this just felt like.
Well, he hasn't gotten bailed out of anything yet. Osse's been the one that keeps getting bailed out of things. So, oh, he's got grapple. He's just gonna do a grapple kill. I'm just being dumb. And gets the quick kill.
Yeah, I mean, if you can 100% 3-shine it, it's still faster, but without the X Factor, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, there's some really fast shine spark strats you can do, but like that's probably next behind that. And even the best aren't super consistent at that.
Yeah, I mean, the main problem with Grapple is the random, like, you have to wait for the goop phase. Okay, well, there is the big key, so it does make it being pretty go-modable. So if you're rooting for azder, that's one in his book.
Yep, and you know what? We still need an ice rod from somewhere. Okay, I don't like that he's not saving to reset if he were to check Shack and Plasma. He needs to be checking Shack and Plasma here.
Well, I think you just do Shack Plasma and then you just leave the front. Like,
you think that's faster?
It's close. Like, is.
No, he's just leaving. See?
Azder, what are you doing?
I don't know. I gotta know what else he thinks he has left.
What does he have left?
He has go back. He's got these 2 checks in Meridia. He hasn't done Spike Gate.
I don't understand the make the Aga play and then like.
But he hasn't done Ice Rod Cave, so he's gonna do that.
Maybe he just goes back in. I could see him going back in.
Chat saying azder allergic to one-offs, but he already did a bunch of one-offs.
He's allergic to one. That's all he's got. Like, what's he gonna do? Is put the controller down and leave? Like.
I mean, his 2 outs were those 2 things, and he didn't do either one of them.
Is he going?
I don't know where he's going.
My dude.
Go Woods. I don't understand these plays. I really don't.
It just doesn't feel
He's
consistent with how he was playing earlier. That's the like if you're gonna do this,
the answer is not Mire.
No, I think he's doing Skull.
Oh, he hasn't activated the flute yet. He's doing that. Okay, well, the answer is not Mire.
He skipped left side swamp too, right?
Yes, he did. He skipped all the little one-offs. He did a bunch of one-offs that Osse still hasn't done yet. The shovel, the magic bat, those kind of things. But he still hasn't done he all the really bad ones, the left side swamp, the
Oh, Blammo from Osse.
we're gonna see Lanmo from Osse as
So I guess
gonna do
I was so transfixed by Azder's side I didn't even see the I guess Mire was empty.
Is he going back to left side?
He's gotta be.
Like
This over Shack Plasma? That's like
I mean
at least it's two terrible things. Like
oh, he could be doing this is he hasn't done Pyramid Fairy. He could do Pyramid Fairy, Catfish, and he'd go back to Meridia from there if he wants to.
yeah, I guess there was more hanging.
And we know this is nothing. Osse did this a while ago. Right, Dragon was the red crystal, so he didn't have it earlier. The answer was not Lanmo. I mean, you killed Aga, so you get a little bit of a time save on this big bomb turn-in.
Oh, Dre being red. Yeah, okay, this makes a lot more sense then, because this is still just part of but Shack Plasma is part of Meridia. Like when you have all this stuff.
No, but he's mirroring. Where are we going now?
Okay, this has to be Shack Plasma for Osse.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think this has to be it. Like, Azder hasn't. Oh right, left side swamp. Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, we're still missing 3 items.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's gonna be Mitts, and it could very well be. I mean, Ice is the really funny one, but this isn't even the worst seed I've seen in the last 2 days. I did a practice one yesterday, which was absolutely comical. I stopped. I just looked. I had a spoiler for it. I'm like, oh, that's. Like...
Yeah, so I think Azder's going to do Skullwoods now. He did not do this before.
Osse ped checked. Azder did not ped check, but
right.
Like you need Mitts. I don't think the ped check is like okay, fine. It's Kane or what? Like that's some information for you, but like.
I mean,
well, I guess he's gonna do Skull and then
yeah, he's gonna do Skull and he's gonna do the ped check. And unfortunately, it's looking more and more like Shack Plasma is gonna be the answer. And we're gonna see very soon if that's it or if it is left side swamp.
Even if it's left side swamp is the last thing for Osse too. Like, Azder's just doing stuff that Osse's did now. Like Osse will just get to that last location first at that point.
Yep, that's the problem. And Azder, thing is, if he had done these checks when they were available, instead of doubling them, it would have been more efficient for him.
Yeah, I mean, if it's left side swamp, then Azder's technically right on skipping these, assuming he goes to left side first.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, he's not going to do that. I don't think.
I've given up on trying to do what he's trying to do. Like,
the plasma was just a missile. And of course, we don't have Kane and Somaria, so we have to do this the hard way.
The unfortunate thing is, like, Azder had the chance, and I think good reason to actually do both of these bad checks at the time, and would have been ahead.
Agreed. If it had been the answer.
Well, it's definitely. I mean, one of these. I think doing both would have made sense at the time for him. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, I'm not a fan of going back in for one item left side swamp, especially when there's a big key there too.
Yeah, I mean, if he was playing, like, literally anyone but Osse, I would say like it makes maybe a little bit more sense to skip that stuff. But like with that, like he just God knows he's behind. knows Osse's probably gonna be playing aggressive too because he's playing azder.
Yep.
Like, and just like take that as your like. I feel like he had to take a home run shot at some point. And, like he kind of did with that Aga play, and then
yeah, I really liked the Aga play. And then the Aga play was, you know, the idea with the Aga play to me was just, you know, now ignore Meridia as much as you can.
Yeah, and like there was nothing like maybe the thought was just like it was Suitless. I mean, he did have the that's true. He saw the grapple and was probably happy, and then saw the gravity and was upset.
Yeah. Because the grapple puts the Suitless in logic to get to dark roll, and so he's saying, okay, I did dark Aga instead. I did fire rod Aga instead. I'm ahead. And then sees the gravity suit, and it's like, well, okay, I could have just. I
think I'm starting to piece the logic together a bit more now. He thought, like I was about to say, he didn't really get a home run.
And there it is. There's a cane right there.
Yeah, but does Vidi have an item?
No, but I mean, it's still a dungeon you can do.
Sure, but that means it has to be left side swamp too.
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah.
And there's still an ice rod out there.
That's just going to be it's either Turtle Rock or ice. Like,
I mean, this is.
Oh, like we have all Dark Death Mountain and stuff. Like the ice rod is going to be the least dumb thing somehow in this. Like, I suppose that is true. Like, we could make the Turtle Rock play early or something. Like, there's actually still game left after this. Like, it's not just. This opens up so much that there's still game left.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I was saying before with azder's logic, I was thinking like he made the Aga play. He never really got paid off for it. He was just doing stuff that his opponent was doing anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But into his mind, the home run was, oh, it was Suitless, and I saved a bunch of time that way. And now the siege turned into,
it was
hell.
Free with gravity suit.
So my opponent's also in hell. But I skipped. Yeah, skipping the Suitless was his home run, and then once he saw the gravity, he realized it wasn't it, and he sort of had to recalibrate.
Yeah.
But I think the problem there is he recalibrated, but didn't realize like he went from feeling like ahead or at least in a good position to feeling way behind, and I don't think he switched his mind to like I need to make some other play to make up for that.
Right.
I think that was the issue. Because once he saw that gravity, it completely changed the tone of the seed. And I kind of forgot that because we had seen it for so long.
Yep.
That completely changed the tone, and I think maybe he just didn't switch his mindset at that point. Because I was thinking he was feeling behind this entire time, and in his mind he wasn't, I assume.
Okay,
he probably actually felt pretty good until he saw that gravity.
Azder's going to go turn in that green pendant, because that's the only thing we got out of Skull Woods. We know that's nothing. We know both these checks are nothing. Yeah, Osse doesn't really want to go back to Mire, assuming...
Oh god, have we seen this?
Yeah, Azder did this.
Oh yeah, Azder came, that's right.
Okay, so Azder now has the same things left as Osse did. Has the Shack Plasma. I don't think he hasn't done Catfish, so you could do Catfish into Meridia to do Shack Plasma. He can do... Oh, he's got Spike Cave. He's going to do that first. Unless he's going to go straight to Shack Tool from here. Which he could. You could do Shack Plasma right from here. And that's what he's doing.
Well, I'll get the cane.
Wait, what? Oh, is he going to do Mire first? No, wait, he's going to save. No, he's going to do Mire first. What? If you're going to do Mire, you should have done it the first time you were there. Oh, well, it's so bad.
Yeah, I think he's just swimming a little bit now. Like, I mean, Osse's got to feel terrible, like, too. Like,
I mean, no one's feeling good here.
When you're playing these guys, once the clock hits 2, you're starting to look at the racetime.gg.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There
had to be a better way to have done this.
So like,
and Osse's gonna go right into left side swamp because that's all he has. God, this is super unfortunate. These 2 checks that we thought Azder would do when he was there, that would have just put him in the lead. Like although the mitts might have taken away from getting Kane at Shack Tool.
Nah, he wouldn't have been. The problem is it's mitts or left side swamp, so like he'd have to be coming back here at some point. I still think he should have done left side swamp at the time, but I guess at that point, yeah, from what I was saying, like I sort of misunderstood what his mentality probably was. He probably thought he was still okay at that point.
Is it faster to gate glitch this when you don't have to kill GT?
I think so. I mean, not if you take 8 tries and run out of supers. Okay. Yeah, this is still faster. Like, I mean, as it runs RBO, like, he should be able to one-shot that, and just sometimes it doesn't happen, so.
I mean, gate glitches are the touchiest thing in this game. Like,
yeah, I mean,
sometimes they just go.
There's a pretty good
they just go away.
setup for that one if you have speed and high jump, so.
But, like, if he had done this check already, when you used it the first time, he still loses time because he would have, because there's nothing here, and he would have done it. But he loses more time having to come back here. So actually, it's 3 things. Like 3 things where I thought it made sense to just do things. Now, the left side swamp one, yeah, like you say, since he hadn't seen the gravity suit, and since he probably still thought he was in good shape because, I skipped Suitless Meridia to get to Dark World by doing Dark Aga. But the other 2, this one, when he was here the first time, and he looked for all the world like he was going to go in. Now we know this is nothing, but like he wouldn't be doing this extra dive down here.
Yeah, I think the problem with that, like, because Swamp is so late for him, like, it was either he was correct, it was Suitless Meridia, and there was something else there, because, like, he was just out of other stuff. It's not like he got more stuff that, like, he didn't get the mitts and stuff that would just, like, let him completely skip it entirely.
Yep.
Either something was in Suitless, or, like, there was something in that lower Norfair and it turned out to be gravity.
Right.
Well, it turned out to be nothing, actually, not, like, because he didn't even technically need the gravity.
Yeah, you could have.
It ended up being, like there had to have been something somewhere. So I think doing the left side probably still made sense. But again, that's really hard to piece all of that together because you're thinking about what your opponent maybe has and what you've done and what they haven't skipped. So
now this isn't going to be over yet because we still have an ice rod to troll us. Yeah, and there's those mitts. So if he'd gone back into the left side. It's only 1 item, I thought.
I think it's only... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, big key and big chest.
I think that's... I'm right here. Let me just make sure there's only 1 item.
I mean, all you have to do is menu to see that you don't have a map and a big key.
Yeah. What do you do? Like, it's actually interesting. I think you just go straight to Turtle Rock, honestly.
I think, yeah, Turtle Rock first, yeah.
Yeah, you also have the Dark Death. You've got 6 items before Turtle Rock.
You've got a lot of items here. This is a lot of density. The Ice Rod Hunt is, I mean, Osse's just ahead for the Ice Rod Hunt.
The other thing is
not up here. You just go to Ice Palace and it's just there.
The other thing Osse's got in his favor is he has Meridia, or he has Super Metroid 100% cleared, so he's guaranteed to be able to save his portal here. So Turtle Rock first makes all the sense.
Oh yeah, and even on blue mail, or if they had red mail, like death warping in Ice Palace is easy. Yeah. So yeah, I mean this is virtual go mode for Osse, honestly.
I guess it'd be bad
if too many things he has to do to catch up.
Maybe you can make an argument because like you kind of need to use that mirror at some point during the Smiths. Maybe you should have done Smiths first just to be able to guarantee you can save your portal. But
I mean, you don't have to do mirrorless Smiths, but oh my god, that sucks if you do it.
I think doing mirrorless Smiths is probably just as long as
I was gonna say anytime you save from having that portal, you lose if you try and do mirrorless Smiths. Yeah,
I mean the other thing, like I think the flip side to that is honestly just last location something against azder. So like, time to go. Like I gotta be playing.
Yep.
He doesn't know that he's just
way ahead.
I think.
Yeah, he full cleared more efficiently than Azder's full clearing. That's the bottom line. Well, Azder now having done the trip to Mire 3 times.
Yeah, he's not.
He's gonna have to do it a 4th time. No, he won't have to do it a 4th time if he reads left side swamp. High charge me. Yeah, so it's gonna be 4 times that Azder's gonna do this lava dive. It's gonna be he's gonna have to go back to Meridia just like Osse already did. And there's your ice rod. That's go mode for Osse. Like it's just there just weren't enough places left for the ice rod to be.
I think
that Azure was going to get to it in any kind of fashion that was going to give him an advantage.
Yeah, I think Osse could have last locationed it, and Azure could have first locationed it, and at this point, Osse
that would have been the only way. Would have been like Azure goes straight to Smith Chain, and it's
or
there.
ice or whatever, you know. Whatever,
yeah,
whatever.
And Osse did last, and then he might, a full clear of Turtle Rock is not insignificant, but Azure's going to get his cane.
Most side swap is going to be last location.
But yeah, I mean, just the inefficiency of all these moments that Azure had of not going back into Swamp, not going into Mire the first time he was there, not going and doing Shack Plasma. These are all things that you might expect your opponent to skip, especially someone like Osse. You might expect him to skip, and you'll just say, "I'll just do him," and hope he didn't, and hope it's the thing. Because like if he had done this, he just goes back into Mire. He finishes Mire, right? In one more trip. Then he knows that it's probably left side Swamp, because he's done everything else.
Yeah, I mean, if you just do left side Swamp, the seed's actually not. Well, no, there was still Shack Toll. Never mind. Like, the seed's not that bad, but yeah, there's two pretty bad trolls. That's the thing with SMZ3. Like something I'm not sure how you fix it, but like the only thing that for one of these seeds to be truly awful is just for one item to be in a bad spot.
Yep.
And there's enough bad spots that like it almost happens every game.
Yeah, and there's some of these spots are so much worse in SMZ3 than they are in either game by themselves.
Yeah.
Like the Mire area is really not a bad spot in Link to the Past, because in order to go there, you have to have a flute.
Yeah, it can be awful here, yeah.
But in SMZ3, I mean, we're going to see Azure quadruple dip the Mire area. We're going to see, in fact, not only, I guess it's triple dip the Mire area, because the first time he didn't go, but he's going to quadruple lava dive.
No, he has the flute now at this point.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, assuming he doesn't just go straight to Mire with the cane, but that would be silly, because he knows there's no more items there. That was kind of a funny Mire loadout with both items on the left side.
It's crazy how bad the seed has been, and they're still only at 225. Like, these guys are just so good.
Oh my god, the seed would take me 3.5 hours. Granted, there are things I would have done differently.
Yeah, I think if I'm in a race with these guys, I think I also skip left side Swamp, one item left side Swamp. I may have done Shack Plasma early, but like I don't think that matters. Like,
yeah, Shack Plasma is one of those locations I'm terrible at making a good decision on. Absolutely horrible.
I think with the way I could have, honestly, I think I might have done Shack, but not Plasma, because you had a front door, right? And you could check Shack.
Yeah.
Especially once you get the... Yeah, I think...
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because what you could do is, if you do it along with the sand pits...
Azur's going to be so confused.
He needs a super to get into Plasma.
I had a really good Shack Toll the other day where it was... I basically last locationed it, and it was Bombos, and I was like, oh, okay, so it's Fire Rod in Ice Palace. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Nope. What actually was, the Bombos was completely worthless. It was a complete red herring. I forgot Landing Site, and Landing Site was... So Shack had something that was useful, and I thought that was the answer, and it turned out just to be the biggest red herring, and I just forgot a location. It was like the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Also, this is another place where we talked about the fast Ganon. With fast Ganon, it's much more of a no-brainer to just go do Turtle Rock. Like, I could see the argument if you have to do GT, you do Mire before you come up here.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that doesn't matter. Osse could have done Mire first, but like, because he's got to do it. Like, it doesn't get any faster or slower at any point.
No, of course not. But you know, you're still thinking about that ice rod for a little while longer, I guess. It's just nice that you can just come up here and not worry about everything.
Yeah, it's a little bit more natural, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't necessarily. If you still had stuff in Mire to do, then yeah, then it would make a difference. But here it didn't really. Like, if we didn't have flute, then that would have been big, right? Because you could have come up here, go, okay, maybe I'll find flute up here, and then I can flute back to Mire. Or otherwise, you would just be like, I'll just bite the bullet and re-lava dive now.
Okay, I was just gonna take Cack Alley to get to the Meridia back door. Through all this, we never did find Spring Ball.
Oh, darn.
I only mention it because Azure having to do some bomb jumps to get through Cack Alley. And having to go through these ohms again. I hate doing this without Spring Ball.
Yeah, I think we've seen all the beams now.
Yep. Yeah, that Spazer beam was the last one.
I think we have everything in A Link to the Past, too. We might be missing a boomerang.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever saw the red boomerang, but, like, it's...
I'm curious to see how Osse feels right now, because he did last location.
I wouldn't be feeling good. Yeah, I wouldn't be feeling good if I were Osse.
Well, I mean, it's last location, but, like...
He did it more efficiently.
One item left side swamp, like... He probably doesn't feel too bad. He probably feels like Azure also last location this. Now, granted, Azure last location and then some. So, like...
And Azure's down to 1 heart, and that's not a fairy tree. I don't know if he thought it was, or if he just bunked that by accident. Yeah, he's going to do Catfish, because he hasn't done that yet. And then his last location will also be left side swamp. But yeah, like I said, the big difference here, Osse, full... See, and there's that.
Yeah.
There's that look. At least that's not the difference in the game. You'd hate to take a death like that and have it be the difference in the game. But yeah, it just Osse full cleared more efficiently.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. Like when Osse got that gravity suit, I was like, Azure didn't have it. I was like, well, that's the game probably.
I mean, Azure brought it all the way back.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened.
He brought it all the way back, and then doesn't do left side swamp, which is understandable. I am the last person that should be criticizing anyone for skipping left side swamp. Doesn't do Shack Plasma, which I'm maybe a little more critical of. That one I absolutely would have done. Like, here's the thing about Meridia. If you do Meridia early, like Osse did Meridia really early. When you do Meridia early, it makes a lot of sense to just say, you know what, I'm not going to do these. They're slow checks. It's not that hard to get back here. I can just do these whenever. Whereas if you're doing late Meridia, like when I get to do Meridia as late as Azure did, I am 100% doing those checks.
Yeah.
Unless I have like a super dumb loadout for it, Like,
he did have
high jump list, no space jump type, for Shack Tool type thing, no ice beam for the ice clip.
He did have a little bit more hanging than I had realized, but like all that stuff was bad too. So like, like when everything's bad, just do the closest bad thing.
Like, yeah, there you go. Where are we going? Didn't he do Spike Cave already? I thought he. Okay, I guess this is Spike Cave. I thought he did this.
Where's Osse going?
Oh, he's gonna. This is the best way to get to GT.
Is it?
Yep.
Huh.
People have mapped it out because of AD keys. If you don't have flute, then I think it's actually better to do save and quit to Link's house and hit the portal there.
Surprised that's faster. Okay, it's gotta be close, whatever it is.
Yeah. So I'm gonna guess Azure's gonna hit go mode around the same time. I think he's gonna hit go mode a little bit before Osse finishes.
Yeah, he's about to hit. Oh, go mode.
He's got to get his mitts first, and then I assume he'll go do the mountain too.
I was thinking mitts. I mean, he was some like. the ice beam being the least trolly item is like it being last and somehow it not being the troll is insane.
I know ice rod. We both mean ice rod.
Yeah, whatever.
Ice rod was basically free. You know, just hey, go to Turtle Rock and do the things there.
Yeah, it's just crazy that it was last, but also somehow.
The go mode item was ice rod, but it's completely free. I mean, ice rod could have still trolled. Could have been on Smiths. Could have been laser bridge. Could have been ice palace. But it just sat there. Was sitting there waiting for us to have our mitts.
Honestly, the way the sea was, I wouldn't even say laser bridge would have been a troll. Like,
that's fair. Because you just go in.
Ganon.
Yeah, I think the play would have been full clear Turtle Rock, save your mirror portal at Laser Bridge, go do Ice Palace. If it's not there, then you abandon your portal and do Smith's Chain. Like that's what we had left. Yeah, you've already got that key. I mean, at least the sea didn't give us the big key to the big chest. The big key is just hanging out in the big chest. This is one of those layouts where if I see someone doing the old left side first, I get very grumpy because they just get totally bailed out because the big key is just in the big chest. They never have to worry about it. Honestly, though, I'm not sure. It's the not doing Shack Tool that hurt him more than this, because Mist just opens things up, Yeah,
I think actually doing this first. I think at that point you are going to last location check. Like you're going to last like it's so hard not to last location something in this.
I feel like if you do this first, you're going to Dark Death Mountain and you're doing all the things there. You get your ice route, so now you're
doing all the mid checks. Like
then you do ice Palace and and Smith Chain in whichever order, and then you're right back to having to go to Shack Tool. So. Yeah,
I think that's the problem. Even if azder did do this.
So I don't think, doing this earlier, I don't think would have helped him. Doing Shack Plasma, that I really think what hurt him the most was not doing Shack Plasma at that late state of Meridia. Doing the extra dip into Mire, like not doing it when you're right there, like that inefficiency there.
With both of those bad items there, right? It's skipping the gravity suit, like. Because, like I said, you're going to last location something, and skipping that gravity suit just made his life so much harder.
Yep.
Like that's.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't miss gravity suit, then we just have a different race. Like we have a
stand-up fight.
Yeah, there's no telling exactly where we'd be right now because his decisions would have been 100% different.
Yeah, like it looked like he clawed his way back, but like at the time we didn't know how there was two bad items, right?
Yeah.
And I think with both the bad items, I don't think there was really a path besides him just cosmic braining it.
Yeah, he needed to get back to left side swamp after the Cane of Somaria.
Yeah,
but he also needed to get to Cane of Somaria before he went back over here to Mire.
Yeah, exactly. Like because like if he does realize he's behind, right, and goes like, okay, I need to make one of these like small percentage plays. Once you hit on one, you stop.
Yeah.
Right? You go like, okay,
Yep.
There it is.
Yep.
Like, so like, just missing that gravity suit just made everything worse, and like, yeah, just because he wasted so much. I mean, honestly, it was just the Aga thing that honestly just was the main thing he wasted. Because I honestly ended up doing most of the stuff azder did, anyways.
Yeah,
so.
and Aga's about 5 minutes. In most cases, I'm sure azder could do a 5-minute Aga.
Sure, but
so that's 5 minutes that Osse's just never spending.
Yeah, you give one of these guys a 5-minute handicap on a straight up seed, like that's GG. Like,
whereas if azder had succeeded in skipping Meridia, right, then all that time he spent in Aga is equaled out by Osse spending time in Meridia, but it didn't work out that way. He ended up full clearing Meridia and then having to go back again for the Shack Tool check. Yeah,
honestly, like Osse just played a little bit more conservatively overall. Like he left less stuff hanging, and then like azder was like triple dipping stuff, like the Mire thing and stuff. And that was really.
Meanwhile, Osse into the Zebetite room. successfully does the crouch charge beam shot. Which, it's a little bit different when you have plasma beam there. To do the zeb skip, you have to do it from below, and with plasma, if you don't take it off, you have to either crouch or charge. I think he did both, so it worked out. My question is, does Azure go straight to the mountain to get his easy access ice rod, or does he feel behind and want to try other places for it in hopes that he can... I mean, the thing is, he tends to not watch the race room. So let's see what he does.
I feel like in this seat I'd start watching the race room, so I would know when to stop.
Yeah, he'll tend to peek it every once in a while, but like, some people will just have it up all the time. I typically just have it up all the time. I kind of have to because I use the timer when I stream a race. I use the timer off of race time. So I just have it in my face all the time.
Yeah, I usually
he
have
definitely
it up
doesn't do that.
But and before that, I'll just peek at it every once in a while.
Okay, but he is going to just go straight to Dark Death Mountain, so he's going to get his ice rod, and probably won't be more than 5-10 minutes behind. And Osse doing the stand-up, not going to save as much time as you'd like because you don't have the wave beam, but still going to save a little bit of time out of this. And, as far behind as he probably feels like he has to do that. Osse in the escape as Azure enters Turtle Rock.
Oh, did he enter Turtle Rock before going to...
Did he not get the ice rod? Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, it'll just save some of the portal, but like... I know he's behind, definitely behind, but like...
We'll see if he menus. I was looking at something else. I was looking at Osse while... Fortunately, this does not have quick swap. One of the worst things about quick swap is we don't get to see menus to confirm things.
Yeah, that's the worst thing.
I didn't say. I said one of the.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's actually surprisingly how many SMZ3 players are anti-quick swap.
Thank God.
I know, right?
Well, Link to the Past players used to be anti-quick swap because it was obviously cheating. It was just for casual runs. And then someone had hey, why don't we just turn it on?
Once, yeah, actually it wasn't. It wasn't even the race council as a tournament decided to turn it on, and then that was it. And Osse finishing up with an official race time of 2:42.39. He will move on. He will face Bressingham, who's already moved on to the round of 8. To the semifinals.
Yeah, Bressingham is really improved immensely over the last couple of years. Definitely, I would say one of the top players now.
Well, I mean, I don't know where the bracket would have fallen. Osse obviously would have been the 2 seed, so that's not where it would have been. But definitely, somebody is going to be happy that they didn't have to face one of these two.
Yeah,
and
me.
joining us, yeah, you. Joining us is Osse, our winner. GG's, Osse.
Hey, thanks.
So I will say we didn't talk about you too much because you played a nice, sane, conservative, straightforward last location seed, where azder was all over the place. He missed the gravity suit early and ended up doing. I think he assumed it was a suitless access, so he dark agged, and it looked like for a while he had a chance to get back in, but the fact that it was 2 horrible locations was kind of just the end of the run. So.
That did cross my mind that you could miss gravity here.
Yeah, it
like just go lower Norfair and then follow that through gravity.
His stream cut out briefly. So like he was in Hera, and then it like I'm on his way to lower Norfair. It blacked out while you started going down as well. And he came back in. He's fighting Ridley. And I'm like, why is he not purple?
Yeah. Yeah. Did he get his gravity suit? No, wait. He definitely does not have his gravity suit.
He's not purple. That's a problem. So, yeah, I'll be interested to see. And then he finally found the gravity suit. Like, the whole... There wasn't really anything in Dark World really to pay off except for, just getting your Dark World access. So... Yeah, he ended up he didn't go into Mire, and then he still ended up skipping Shack Plasma, and then he finally sort of dug everything out. So it looked like you were wet. Like once you found the gravity, I was like, well, that's the game. And then azder at certain points, it looked like he could take the lead. But yeah, with the fact that there was 2, because even if you find the left side swamp, like then you have mitts, and then you're not going to do Shack Tool, I don't think. So like your last location is something in this seed, if not both.
Yeah, I was going through Meridia. It didn't feel like a Shack Tool seed to me. I was ready to do Plasma, it just didn't route very well, so I put that off. But I was going to skip Shack Tool for sure.
Yeah, I mean...
That's why I was real surprised to find Kane there. And happy.
Well, by the way, just pointing out, azder definitely did skip that ice rod at Hookshot Cave.
I'm sure happy and confused, because even we were like, there's something at Shack Tool, and you're like, wait a minute, that opens 0. Like, so it's
exactly.
Also it's also left side swamp. Like
he skipped the Dark Death Mountain checks, full cleared Turtle Rock, didn't save his portal, and is now going to Ice Palace. Oh my god. I just had to point that out.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the game's over.
We were saying the ice rod was the least trolly thing in this seed, because they just go Dark Death Mountain and go do Hookshot Cave and go get your ice rod, and azder's managed to make it trolly.
Yeah, I mean, azder's had to dig out so much stuff, and I think it was the case that even if you last located the ice rod and he went straight to it, I think it would be close, but I think you would still have it.
Yeah, midway through the seed, I was all freaking out because I thought I remembered seeing ice rod somewhere, but couldn't remember where.
Oh no. What was the reason you couldn't remember where?
There's only so many spots, so
I'll say, how do you not lose?
Well, I mean, you lost to Zempt somehow, so you managed. You managed it that way. I mean, to be fair, Zempt put up a 202. It's hard to compete with that kind of time. Sometimes you just spike one and everything works out for you.
Yeah, I mean, so how were you feeling once you found the mitt? Because once you found the mitts, you knew the seed was I feel like with the one left side, you probably are assuming azder skipped that as well. Were you feeling okay at that point, or? Well, there you go, Tracy.
Like you're saying, the pair, Kane Somaria and mitts. I felt there's a good chance he also skipped one of those. And getting mitts first doesn't help too much, because it gives you more things to do.
It hurts, I think, actually, getting the mitts first.
Yeah, because you're doing all this stuff.
Yeah, that's azder would have had to gone into ultra full clear everything mode, which doesn't feel like an azder thing to do. So, it was fun. There was all this stuff where saying, well, azder can maybe do this and then get this before you. And the funny thing was that at the end of the day, it actually just came down, like, it rolled all the way back to, yeah, you got the gravity suit early. So what we thought was going to determine the seed is what determined it at the end. So, because if he gets gravity, then I think it's just a straight up fight between you two. Like I said, I feel like when you get those mitts and that cane, you're probably just like, well, it's who did it faster, right? And like we're pretty even, so you know, probably not feeling good or bad. You're just like at that point, it's like we'll see what happens. So.
Yeah, I feel like when we race, like it often comes down to a fight like that if we get a bad seed, and I tend to play like more full cleary, just skip a few less things, and he leaves more holes, and so I tend to win in a fight like that.
Yeah, I was mentioning this before. It feels like when you play azder, like it's so out of your hands because he's either gonna like he's gonna completely god route it and just like destroy you, or he's gonna do this. Right, and it's just like, okay, well, I'll just play. It feels like the best thing to do with azder is play conservative, and just like let him. Like you don't want to try to out azder. I feel like that's just gonna go badly for you. So just play conservative and like, you know, not too like you said, like the skips you made and stuff. Like I said, that's why we barely talked about you because it was a last location seed that you played very straightforward, and you played it well. So it was like, okay, Osse's just gonna be Osse. Like, meanwhile, azder was doing this.
Yeah. Part of my game plan is just go fast.
Yeah, it seems to work out for you. I should try that.
Yeah, as you're about to get the bad news that he left his ice rod on Dark Death Mountain. I mean, I get this because you know he needs the ice rod. At this point, he probably figures he needs the ice rod to be in a bad place. And as he's not, there's no way he's looked at the race room if he's still doing these. Like he'll look when he's done and realize. I mean, he probably doesn't feel like he's gonna win at this point. But
yeah, again, like in this seed, like even if I'm like I don't look at the race time because I don't want to get nervous or anything. When I'm at like 250 and I'm playing Osse and it seeds this bad, it's like I just want to look over to see if I can stop.
Yeah, yeah. There is that mentality to some extent. Some players like to finish anyway, and I completely respect that. You know,
I generally like to finish, but not when it's this. Like, when it's this, I'm like I'm good. Thanks. So yeah, you are going to be taking Bressingham on next. Any thoughts about that matchup?
Just that Bressingham's been looking really strong in the SM tournament.
Yeah, he's gotten really good, really quick. So.
Did he forget that he did do Dark Death Mountain?
Maybe.
No, sorry, Osse, go on.
That's mostly it. Bressingham looking really scary in SM now.
Yeah, that's not a. I bless my OBS crashing every day because I did not want to be on that half of the bracket. I've been playing you and then azder and then Bressingham and then the winner of the other side. It's like that. That's such a nightmare. Like,
yeah, it's funny how that worked out too.
Yeah, so I mean, I had to play Farflu, who was like really strong.
Yeah, that was a really good race there too.
Yeah, so like I didn't get. But I mean, I'd rather play Farflu than not. Like, no offense to Farflu, but I'd rather play. I played Osse twice last year. I'm.
You're done.
Yeah, maybe if I have to play him in the finals, that's fine. But I'm good. Besides that.
Yeah, get my losses out of the way in groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like to do that, don't you?
Yeah. Yep. I think azder didn't realize that he skipped all of Dark Death Mountain when he went over there.
I don't think he realized he skipped looking at the race timer.
Okay, now he's back where he needs to be. I mean, this isn't a very long to finish once he gets that ice rod. He'd be done if he had just done hookshot cave.
Yeah. Well, when we were wondering why he didn't do hookshot cave, at least we know why now. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, you see the obviously it's not close at the end here, but it was actually exciting in them just because you know we didn't know where the troll items were going to be, and we didn't know
how troll exactly they were going to be.
For a while, it looked like azder was going to be pulling ahead because he went back to Mire, and we really thought like Mitz. It looked pretty likely Mitz were going to be in there, and then he would have just been purely ahead because he probably would have ended up just skipping Meridia at that point, which was really his big hope. And then of course, you know, A, he dug it out, and B, something was there anyways. So
Yeah, I can kind of follow like skipping Mire area earlier on. We couldn't do checkerboard, maybe can't do desert, and probably can't do Mire itself. So maybe come back after having more items.
yeah, I mean, you have speed and high jump and everything. Like you get the
Yeah.
2 checks at. It was really funny because like azder was clearly playing it like, oh, it was Suitless Meridia. So he goes down, right, and he sees that grapple and he goes, oh, I was right.
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes later, he finds the gravity suit.
Yep.
He's like, oh, I was not right.
Yeah, because you know, with that grapple beam, that I mean, it was looking like
Yeah, like-
the possibility for this being a suitless to Dark World.
I mean, when you've had it in your mind,
really possible.
if you've been playing the seed for 2 hours in your mind, like I skipped Suitless Dark World access by doing Aga, and then you go find the thing that you skipped that was Suitless, you gotta be thinking like, oh, it's perfect. And then like
Yep.
2 seconds later, like that, like as like with the cameras on, you know, it was quite the reaction. But yeah, that must have been a yeah. I think that just like that so changed his perspective of the seed. I think he that's really when it started going sideways, because it really, like, he didn't go into Mire at that point, which really seemed like the thing to do.
He almost went to Mire and just hesitated.
Yeah, and then he did Meridia and skipped Plasma Shack.
Yep.
Like I was saying, like he had he had more, like he hadn't done ice, or not ice, he hadn't done Skull Woods, and like there was a couple like one-off things he hadn't done. And like I said, like when you have so much bad stuff, just do the bad thing that's the closest. Like, yeah. Especially late in the seed like that. Like there's no more reading the seed, right? It's just like, it's one of these bad spots. Like just go do the thing that you're next to.
Yeah.
So
Like from my perspective, with the swamp thing, like that was like deepest in logic. So like didn't have to skip it. But I had all of Wreck Ship and a ton of early checks and criteria left.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean one item.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was
it's hard to
one
go back to
item
one item.
and the big key, right? You know, so it's not just that it's only one item. It's just that you're also missing that the big key. So it could have been, you know, 20 rupees in the big chest that you get the big key for.
Yeah, with not having the big, like, that's completely defensible. And like that's what I was thinking. Like, it seemed pretty likely that azder would do that too, which he did, obviously. So like once you find it there, like, yeah, it seems like, you know, I don't, yeah, you don't necessarily feel good. You're just like, well, that's what happened. Like he either did this last or didn't. And like I said, even if you don't do it last, like it opens up all the mitch checks, right? And you could just waste time doing that. Like I think your one saving grace was, at that point you had full cleared SM, so you knew you could have saved the Turtle Rock portal, except for Smiths. Smiths would have been kind of nasty, but.
Yep, pretty much. I did enjoy like the item placements after I did get to Dark World.
Yeah.
It was like boots and pod to glove at Bonk Rock, and then
I was so
run
mad
back.
about the pod thing, because I was like, it doesn't make any sense to do pod. You might as well just go around the world and then come back at
He
the
did
end.
not like you doing pod
you have
right
flippers.
away.
And like you do pod first, and then you get rewarded for the
You
so
get
mad.
boots. And you also got bombos. I guess the boots weren't hard required, but they sure are nice to have.
There was so much stuff in the seed you should have gotten punished for. You just did, like doing a 5 power bomb Britain Star. I was like, come on, like, you got screw attack and 10 power bombs down there. I'm just like, never punished. Absolutely never punished.
I figured I could make 5 power bombs work, but didn't have to worry about it.
If you
No,
know
you
what
didn't.
you're doing, you can have 5 power bombs, no screw attack or anything, and still full clear big pink. But you're not going into blue, and you're leaving with none.
Yeah.
And I also liked like mirroring at front of escape to get my hammer.
Yeah,
Going
that
through all the castle. That was cool.
Yeah, that nice add-a-lot. Nice out of logic hammer.
Yeah, Azzer actually had that because he was doing that during his
did that right
trying to
before Aga.
avoid going
Yep.
back. So he had that early, and like when we saw it, we were pretty because it was like at that point because we still had some other stuff to do. It's like it could have been like that was what the Dark World required was just for the lamp for the hammer, and then if a glove was just sitting somewhere, like that would have completely changed how the seed was going to play.
Yeah, you'd normally think that if you find a hammer there, then there's a glove available, but
Yeah,
not really.
No.
even if it was glove available in Dark World, right? That could have been. What was the first glove? You didn't get the glove for so long.
Yeah, mine was Bonk Rocks.
Oh, Bonk Rocks, that's what it was. Right. Yeah, so it was lamp. It was lamp for pod, for boots, for Bonk Rocks, for
yeah. And lamp was
We got it.
combos.
And we got a book somewhere dumb too to get that lamp.
yeah. The
Book was
the book
Hera.
early. Yeah.
All right, Hera.
But you're like supposed to go a lap around Dark World to get your lamp, and then go into pod. So Duck's route.
Yeah. See, I'm supposed to do it. I was doing it the nice, correct way, and I get punished. In the seat, I was definitely playing.
Yeah, happy to make it through the round. It was tough, and didn't feel like I was playing all that great. Like it was happy to get the good SM items and then have to do SM, but that Torium was rough.
Okay. In the meantime, we're gonna go ahead. Azure finishes in 10 minutes. Spoilers. I'm gonna go ahead and mark him done so we can get him in here.
Also, the X-ray out of Norfair, is that actually faster, or are you just like practicing it because if you screw it up, it's bad in SMR?
It would make sense if it's faster, right? But
You
it's
both
good
did it.
practice, too.
Yeah, that's what it was like. It's like if it's faster, it's got to be like barely faster. It's like, are you guys just doing that to because you both did it? And I'm like,
Yeah, I saw
So you-
Esther play a seed where he had exactly 5 power bombs leaving in it. I had to do it, so
yeah, and if you mess it up,
practicing
you're just
myself
stuck.
now.
So we are joined by Azder. GG's to you as well.
GG. Is about what I expected.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we saw the look when you found Gravity Suit when you did.
yeah, so it was fun. I explained to Osse. I don't know if you realized, but your streaming cut out for a little bit there.
Yeah.
Before going to
If I hadn't realized, it wouldn't have come back. So.
yeah. If before going to Norfair, so we were watching Osse got the gravity suit and everything, and you came back in the middle of the Ridley fight, and I'm looking at you, I'm like, why aren't you purple? Like, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Well, like I decided. I decided I wanted to put it off until I had something better for that area because there are a lot of things that I was missing. Like I literally had no medallions to somaria,
Right.
no glove for a checkerboard, no boots, and I'm just like, if I just do lower Norfair first, the chances are really high that I'll find like literally anything that'll make that dip better, and then I can do it after and not have to worry about using supers on GT. So I just figured it was going to be better if I went back there after I got something that helps me out in that area.
Mhm.
And eventually that ended up being the glove and boots after I did the out of logic I could play. And when I saw Grapple, it was just like, okay. I figured that it was a dumb Suitless Meridia play
Yep.
that I skipped by doing
Yeah.
Aga, and I felt decent about it. And I saw Grav, and that just went out the window. And then I incorrectly said, "Oh, well, the logic for Dark World had to be there's a like my glove is in Meridia, my mitts are in Bonk Rocks, and no, Meridia was Dark World Access. That's why.
Oh, okay.
That's why I
Yeah.
left Mire, because I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna have
okay.
mitts to come back, right? And then when I
Gotcha.
realized later that that was incorrect, I was like, okay. I probably should have, because like Bombos was my advantage there over going to
Right,
Mire area right
because
away.
Osse did not have anything to do any of that stuff. Like he did desert, did Mire Shed, that was it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes it because there was a bunch of stuff you did that like I kind of start like disagreeing with, and then like I mean we can have a difference of opinion, but it makes sense that you kind of like misread it too, and that kind of and like it makes sense.
I wasn't expecting Grav to be there at all.
Yeah,
it was like screaming, "This is a dumb Suitless Meridia scene," and I didn't want to do it.
I mean, if you watch it back, there was a lot of at some point like I think I was like misunderstanding what your mentality probably because in my mind you felt like you were behind when you did that, but you were just thinking, no
kidding.
Yeah, but like
not hard to figure that out.
Yeah, I thought maybe you thought okay because like you had skipped the suitless part, so that was like your payoff.
Yeah, that's what I thought was gonna happen. But...
And like the scene went on for a while, so I kept coming up with like weird, bizarre conspiracy theories for what was happening.
I mean, you kind of brought it back. The problem was, if you had done check plasma when you did Meridia the first time, you get your cane of somaria, then you can just go back to Mire and finish it off. The problem was, it still would have taken you a while to get back to left side swamp. And the other problem is, had you done left side swamp, which I thought you were gonna, I thought you might have in this situation, just because you'd done all the seemingly bad, there was like a bunch of stuff that looked like you were trying to avoid going back to. Then you get the mitts, and that opens up so many things that the only thing behind the mitts was Ice Rod.
Yeah. And I left DDM because I was just focused on beelining TR. That's not the first time I made that mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, it makes sense with like, you find that grapple and like that kind of like confirms your theory of the seed. And then like 2 seconds later, there's this giant curveball. And then like, it's late in the seed, you're playing Osse and everything. And then like, you just sort of, it's kind of hard to like make the mental shift that quickly. So I've done it too, where I just completely, especially if like, when you're talking about like SM access stuff, because like, we know how to do all the dumb pony tricks, right? So sometimes it's hard to like, what is the actual logic to get through here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could have gotten through here an hour ago, but
I was thinking of doing Suitless Meridia for Dark World access like a lot earlier in Seed.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Well, yeah, that's the thing is
no grapple.
Realizing there's no grapple.
Yeah. I was like, wait, something I don't then?
I mean, there are ways. They're all bad, and don't do them.
Yeah. I know there's some corrupt ways, but
like I was running out of things to do, and I was just like, it's either like Mire area had the one thing I needed, which I still had a lot. Like when I made the lower Norfair play, I still had a lot left outside of that, so I didn't feel too bad leaving it. But
well, and then the other thing that chat keeps yelling at us about is the Ice Beam. I think we all forgot, like, all of us here. Ice Beam was on the old band, so behind the lamp, which was on Bomb, which we later found out was on Bombostat. Now, at the time that you did Mire, you still had. I mean, there were still places where that lamp, I think, could have been to put the Ice Beam in logic, but so Suitless was never really even in logic, as it turns out.
I assume you guys are like me, where I just like, because the lamp is so completely skippable, I never think about lamp logic.
Well, like Old Man never has anything, so
well, that's
right? I'm more on that camp. The Old Man doesn't have anything. Like, I tend to think of lamp logic, although in SMZ3 you have to be a little more on top of it, because of course you don't have the fire rod opening things up like in regular Link to the Past. But yeah, but I'm with azder on the Old Man just never has anything. So like an Ice Beam on Old Man, I probably don't even think about that location.
Ice Beam is like,
because how often does Ice Beam make that much of a difference? So often when Suitless Meridia, you have Ice Beam and Spring Ball.
Yeah, lamp logic into like, Ice Beam logic, I'm never thinking about that.
I know.
Like, there's zero chance I put that together.
Yeah, I blame Normal for that, partially. I just feel like when I race Osse, I always get seeds like this, and I would like for us to have good races, because I feel like I feel like we should be comparable skill level. Obviously, the results over like the last 4 years say otherwise, though. But
I mean, to be fair, it was still a good race. In SMZ3, if you're still close going into go mode, but then
but we were not. We were not close at all going into go mode. So.
If you
going into go mode search, let me put it this way.
If you like, we obviously didn't know where the items were. If you watch it back, like there was at a point it looked like you were going to be ahead, because like you were just going to get to the dumb bad things first. And of course it didn't end up happening. The funny thing, like I said before, like you made that Aga play, and like it looked like there was ways for you to get back. But the fact that there was the fact that there was 2 trolley items, like it ended up coming down to the gravity suit at the beginning, because I don't think there's, if you did get those mitts first, I don't think you ever go to Shack Tool until left.
Yeah, that's the super last location.
So like, if it was just left side swamp and you made the play, like then like there was definitely chances. So like it was still an exciting race because
If you switch the items.
until the very.
I was thinking that too. If you switch the items.
Yeah, if you switch that would also be it. But
But yeah,
So it was exciting. It was exciting. I know, like this is a 24-minute difference or whatever, but like it was definitely exciting for a while, and then at the very end, it sort of spiraled out. So
I just
but it was a fun race to watch.
Like when I'm behind in that situation, I don't play in a way that will let some of the dumb stuff, like the dumb mitts part.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play in a way that lets stuff like that bail me out. It usually screws me more.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just so like it's just like, even though that's technically an out, it still doesn't seem like a good play. But I don't know.
Yeah,
but, I mean, part of the reason you do things like that is because they're not a good play. So it's paradoxical.
Yeah, like if you think, especially against Osse's good, when you're playing someone like Osse, if I was playing either one of you and I was in a situation where I felt like I was way behind, like, yeah, you got to make those small percentage plays, it feels like, because you got to play for the win in these, right? There's no points a second. Like losing. It's
just like I did swamp too early to be able to reasonably make that call.
Yeah,
because it's just like one item left side, and it's just like, well, I still have.
It's one item and the big key. And it's one item in the big key to make it work.
It was so gross.
So yeah, you go back in. How often have you gone back in? And it's like you get the big key, and then you get 20 rupee pack on the big chest. Like
yeah, but if you do the left side, you're just getting sunk for, because you're gonna. You ended up full clearing all the miss locations anyways. But I think you full clear. I don't think it changes anything. Like there being 2 bad items. I think items the gravity.
After gravity, yeah.
Yeah. So it ended up being that gravity play, which it looked like it looked like you had nosed up out of it. It looked like you were going to take the lead, and no. The seed just said no.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, if you watch it back, there was times.
I mean, I see last location just about everything as well. He just did it a little more efficiently.
It looked pretty likely that mitts were going to be in Mire. And that we assumed you were going to go into Mire.
Yeah, I know. Right, we're like, go into Mire, get your mitts, and then you can come back anytime.
So it looked like, yeah, you could. It looked like you were going to get to some of the bad stuff first, and then the gravity just threw you a complete curveball.
Yep.
And that's when things really went sideways. Oh, well, now he's back.
Okay, I think.
Okay, azder, let you have your say as we end your run in this tournament. If you have anything.
Not really. My internet keeps dying. It's just like pretty much. It's pretty fitting for how this run went. I don't know. It's fun to get to do SMZ3 tournaments. I just wish we had better seeds when we got meshed up. I just don't enjoy these kinds of seeds, and it feels like, I don't know. I'm way too tired. I'm so tired that I forgot DDM. I'm just too tired. GG's.
GG's. Someday we'll get a better seed.
All right, Osse, you got anything else before we close this out?
Not really. Just GG's to azder for the race. Scary opponent always. And thanks to Tracy and Duck for doing comms, and the rest of the SpeedGaming crew for giving us a restream.
And I guess I should point out, I don't think I ever called it out, Azure did finish finishing with an official race time of 3:09:56.
I don't think he wants you to call it out.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't, but like for the fans out there, let's let him know what the time was. GG's to both of you. There is one match on the schedule. Duck, you'll be matching up with Tony on, let's see, September 23rd.
Wow.
Actually, Friday at midnight. Well, Friday, Saturday at midnight.
Tomorrow at midnight.
Is that tomorrow? Oh my God, that is tomorrow. Right. Okay.
Better be.
That is it is tomorrow.
Otherwise I got
Tomorrow at
word for him.
midnight. Yeah, the AMs can screw me up, but yeah, it is tomorrow at midnight. I guess technically that's Friday morning, but we'll call it Thursday night. Hopefully we can get some crew on that one, so we can get a restream on that. That'll be a lot of fun. So good luck to you on that. Thank you for joining me. Always love doing these races with you. We definitely seem to get some weird things going on when we do them, though. And of course, to our runners, if you're not already following them, please go ahead and follow the links in the chat. Both are really good runners. SMZ3, SM, Link to the Past, also to other things. So go ahead and follow those guys. And of course, Ike here on the tracking. Trackers always are MVPs. Huge shout outs to Ike here for jumping in and tracking for us. We can't do it without them. And yeah, that's it for me. Duck, you got anything else?
No, I'm good. Yeah, thanks for everyone for watching. I'll let you finish it up.
All right. Yeah, I do believe there's a Z1R tournament race coming up, so stay tuned for that, and we'll see you at the next one.